Showscreens. No, we're fine. It's fucking footy. Tyler King footy over there. I've taken that role, haven't I? So when we come on, I'll basically come to you and say, welcome, you know, like we're here at, was it New Choice Arena?
Just instrumental oval, mate.
No,
why are you giving New Choice? We're not paid by New Choice. Instrumental oval, mate.
Gotta help the local footy bros.
Instrumental oval. Mate, Waffle supporters love their traditional grounds, mate. Instrumental oval.
Alright.
New Choice Homes Park, if you want to be exact.
And I'll basically... New Choice Homes Park.
Yes.
I'll mix it up.
It says it right there on your screen, mate.
I'm not going to be there forever though, bros.
Right, okay.
So I'm just going to throw to you and say, mate, we'll get to West Coast in a minute, but you know, this is a pivotal match for East Fremantle in order to stay in touch with the top 5, and then that'll be the under-serves. I'm going to keep them, and the rest will just talk Eagles.
Yep.
Oh. This sucks. Normally Goss is doing the anchor leg.
Well, that's what I said. I wondered whether you were going to make me do it. I could have thrown in, or you could have thrown.
Well, you're going to carry it.
You could have.
You're going to carry it.
How am I going to carry it?
You'll basically dominate it. I'll just throw questions and you just fucking whack them back. It's hot in here.
Have you seen the movie Major League?
Come on, mate.
Of course you've seen it.
Come on, mate.
What's mate? I'm Morty.
Hey?
I'm Morty. Fly ball.
Marty.
I'm Marty. Marty.
Fly ball. Caught. Dynamite drop in, Marty.
Yeah. How are you, Graham?
Dynamite drop in, Marty.
I actually got that into the freaking Perth Footy League one. The first week I was on. The girl I was with, some nonsense crap up, and
you're throwing obscure Major League references out.
Dynamite drop in there, Sandra.
Not bad.
Trying to see if you've got a fan in the crowd.
Not much elevation on the call, though, is there?
That's what this is for, isn't it? Don't you do it all off that?
What?
The screen?
No, I do it off this.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Should I not?
I personally just like look at the screen. It's like watching TV.
I'll see how I go.
And then if I get lost, then I'm like, oh,
but what if that's delayed? You cook then.
True. Good point.
You knew that though, didn't you, mate? Oh, Deegan's got a haircut, you absolute weapon.
Coached him, mate. Taught him everything he knows.
Ainsworth, Flint, humble. There he is, okay. Short guy. Pornich. True 62. Who is that?
I do not even have a 62. Hang on, it'll be on here, mate. Here you go. Jack Cherry. Do you want me to see if I can find anything on him?
Nah.
He's fine.
It's your job.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want me to see if I can find
It's up to you, mate. I don't think it's that critical. Marlon, Ainsworth, Jamison, Pornich, shaking a few hands.
That'd be
getting to know his teammate.
That'd be an introduction. Jack Carey is from Esperance Boy. Literally looked like he had his photo taken 3 minutes ago. Look at that.
I think you might have.
They're working fast at the WA Football League.
Where's Hutchings? Why isn't Hutchings playing?
Laid out.
Is he an emergency? Did he travel? This is a really weird drink bottle design.
You don't like it? You're not a fan?
Nah. Look, you got to bite it. It's like you got to bite it to then sip.
I'm not a big fan of bite then sip. I would have just thought sip would be the way to go.
Who wouldn't? Shannon Hearn out here watching his teammates. Pretty epic though.
Couldn't make the trip, obviously. Didn't want to go to Melbourne this weekend.
Nah, probably not good for flights having your
Didn't want to go through another 3 COVID tests, probably.
You just get such expert telecast vision these days, mate. Do it from the couch. That's saying something about our stream, then, isn't it?
Couldn't get everything he needed from the stream. He's just got to see it for himself.
Yeah.
Your commentary just wasn't quite making the grade. My commentary is certainly not making the grade.
I'd rather be up high. Who's 21?
For us?
No. Burton, right, of course. I knew that. I could be topless in here, it's so hot.
I can't believe I actually put my polo on and pants.
Do you want me to send you the Archie notes on his brother? Nah, fuck it. You didn't get him. Fuck off.
I'd say he's the best. Best Archie.
Of course. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this afternoon's live stream of your home East Fremantle Sharks up against the West Coast Eagles. The stream courtesy of Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better. Gorgeous day out here this afternoon for some quality local football. Stephen Bandy the main caller this afternoon, and joined at the helm by Cameron Palmer. Welcome for special comments, Cam. How are we looking for today in terms of the matchup?
Good afternoon to you as well, Steve. It's a pleasure to be sitting alongside you and bringing the waffle action to Eagles and waffle fans right across Perth and across Australia on the live stream, proudly brought to you by Hungry Jacks. Promises to be a really good game. East Fremantle started the year really strongly, a couple of early season wins over Peel and East Perth. They had an honourable loss to Subiaco. They had a bit of the bite taken out of their start, I'd say, last week. Beaten by Perth. They were missing a couple of their playmakers in the midfield, Josh Schoenfield and Luke English. They're both back today. I think that will add to the midfield of East Fremantle. Expect a really strong performance from that East Fremantle side, Steve.
Yeah, no doubt. If they want to stay in touch with the top 5, today is a must-win for the Sharks. We have a look at the West Coast Eagles list, and there is a fair few soldiers out of today's lineup. Cam, we'll go through the injury list a little later on. There's just too many to mention to get tongue-tied, but we do have 3 Waffle League debutants this afternoon. Would you like to run us through those ones?
No, I haven't got them, Steve. I'm going to throw it back to you on that.
I'm glad I got you on board. We've got Ty Sears, a 19-year-old, on loan from Swan Districts. In fact, all 3 of them are this afternoon. He's also joined by Jack Wilson. He's going to be wearing number 35.
And Chris Portage.
That's the one. So you did know him in the end. Don't doubt yourself, Cameron.
That's it. I think that as much as we've got a few soldiers missing with injury, the midfield still looks like it's got some potency to it. We've got a few of the young guns of the West Coast Eagles senior side. Braden Ainsworth in there. Zane True, who started the year really strongly. Braden Ainsworth back this week. So there is enough, I think, midfield potency there, Steve, that they can minimise the damage in the midfield. And if they can actually get the ball going our way, we've still got enough options, I think, up forward to impact the scoreboard.
That's right. Big opportunity for Callum Jamison, number 40 for the West Coast Eagles. He'll be rucking a fair portion of today's solo. Jordan Busher normally backing him up, but he is missing with a glute strain this afternoon.
And he's going up against Luke Stranatica, who actually leads the waffle in hit-outs. What Perth did last week really well against Stranatica, they made him work around the ground. They had a dual ruck approach. It worked well. That's where probably Bailey Williams is a big loss today. I think Williams and Jamison would have had a real opportunity to be able to work Stranatica across the ground. So who they use alongside Jamison, I think, could be pivotal to, again, just being able to minimise the damage in the midfield and then hopefully actually be able to get some ascendancy from it, Steve.
Not too many missing from East Fremantle's lineup this afternoon. Was looking forward to seeing Jordan Snadden out there, the ex-Eagle, but just in the Magoos at this current time is Jordan.
Just looking, coming across to the bench now, we've got Jack Wilson, Joey Deegan, Michael Humble, and one of the new guys in for, I think, his first game of the season, Jack Carey, or it might be his second game for the year for Carey. So he's got a little bit of height. He might add a little bit with what we have had go out there, Steve.
As we said, a gorgeous afternoon of football here at East Fremantle Oval.
Just looking at that East Fremantle midfield, mentioned it, Schoenfield and English, who were missing last week, they're right back into the middle underneath Stranatica. How the Eagles waffle team go against those two will be, I think, pivotal in this game, Steve.
Well said, Cameron, as the umpire just prepares for the opening bounce this afternoon. Just having a look at where some of the matchups are going. We see Fitzgerald coming back into the lineup, lining up at full back. Over at full forward, Borgogno for the West Coast Eagles.
He's up on the East Fremantle captain jump.
And we are underway. Shark Park, Stranatica up against Jamison. O'Neill takes it, but he's claimed immediately by English, who came back after a weak spell last week.
Be interesting to see how O'Neill goes today. He's had a couple of games now to work into this waffle form.
Bokhorst collects the bouncing ball. Quality smother there from Cameron. Good defensive pressure early. And the Eagles, with the first forward 50 entry, a long ball, jump over his head. In the end, he's happy to see it over the boundary line.
I think it was Brayshaw that had that long inside 50 entry. He's been pretty good at driving the Eagles forward this year, and some really good, I guess, team efforts in the middle there. Jared Cameron with a nice smother, and Ethan Hansen rather there to collect.
Throw in left forward pocket for the West Coast Eagles. Borgogno in the ruck on this occasion. Taken, O'Neill round the corner, and West Coast, first blood on the road.
Really good positioning there from O'Neill. He was right at the front of the first tap, and then again with that one there, Borgogno just getting it into a dangerous spot. O'Neill was able to get that step, get it onto the right foot around the body, and a really good goal for O'Neill. Not a noted goal kicker, but something that I think he needs to continue to work on.
Currently averaging the 12th most disposals at waffle level for season 2021. He's obviously been given 4 games of opportunity at the top level this year, 9 games in total. Looking forward to seeing him develop further.
He's had 59 touches in just 2 waffle games, 28 last week, and his first one today is an important one against the Eagles' first blood, Steve.
It is the dream start. Underdogs on the road. The first to land the opening blow. Ball back in the middle. Sinclair tackled effectively on this occasion by Davies. And it's Fremantle's turn to go forward.
Call came from the secondary umpire there, so a little bit unlucky there, I think, the Eagles player with that one.
Davies, short pass. Bokhorst offers, wants to go quickly, but the man was on the mark. Found Erdley. Scrappy kick inside forward 50. I don't know if it was meant for Marsh, but he'll take it.
Yeah, nice March. That's the beauty of being able to play front position. It's probably the one area we didn't speak about in the pre-game, though, Steve, is it has been a decimated West Coast Eagles waffle defensive back 6. The injuries at the senior level with a Barras, with a McGovern, with a Hearn, it does mean there's a few bodies that have gone up into the senior side, and they're probably a little bit depleted down there.
In we come. Jonathan Marsh, the former Saint and Magpie. His shot on goal squeezes through. And East Fremantle respond.
Good goal from Marsh there. He went goalless last week. It's his first time going goalless for the season. He's one of the key forward 50 members for East Fremantle. With Dylan O'Reilly being out, O'Reilly went out early in last week's game with a concussion. They probably need Marsh to have a little bit more of an impact. His first goal today, and it's 1-1, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know about that inside 50 delivery. If that's going to happen all day, it'll be a tough afternoon for the Eagles.
Again, the beauty of playing front position, you just want to get yourself in that front position, and you never know. Good things will happen when you're in front, Steve.
Yeah, we see Lennon Marlin picking him up in the back half, and that is a difficult matchup for an ex-AFL player.
A little bit undersized in that back 50. Again, we've mentioned a couple of the tools that are out. They'll have to bat above their weight down there with the West Coast Eagles waffle defenders.
Umpire slams into the turf to restart play. Stranatica tries to kick it out of True's hands. Schoenfeld, Jamison both go hard at the ball. In the end, neither willing to give ground, and the umpire will have it.
We've only gone 4 minutes, but like Jamison's start, a couple of ruck taps against Schoenfeld, and a really good follow-up there, getting down, getting dirty.
Stranatica on this occasion. O'Neill makes sure Schoenfeld's got no room to move.
And likewise, O'Neill got the early goal now, an early tackle. He's having an impact.
Stranatica again looking for Schoenfeld. English. Handball, heard the voice of Lester Smith. A high ball will go inside 50, and again, front position. Easy does it. Dixon wheels around on the left. Spots something at the top, and a good mark on that occasion by Murphy in between 2 Eagles. And East Fremantle with another shot on goal.
Yeah, we've had probably the 3rd mark that they've taken inside 50 now, 2 on that one chain. And Harry Sinclair, the defender there, just again coughing up that front position. I think it's something that Coach Daniel Pratt will maybe just be looking at. They can't afford to concede this many inside 50 marks.
Max Murphy, young boy from Geraldton, on his first attempt on goal for this afternoon. His teammates like it. They get around him. East Fremantle with 2.
Yeah, Murphy, 14 league games coming from recruited from Railways up in Geraldton. He's had an impact in those 14 league games that he played, and that's an important early goal for East Fremantle. Gives them their first lead of the day.
Yes, he kicks 3 goals against East Perth and the Rezzies back in round 3. Been given the call up this week with a couple going out of the side. And he makes his first opportunity count this afternoon.
I think the midfield battle's been okay from West Coast early on. West Coast Eagles waffle. They've done what they need to in there. Probably, as I say, just they've coughed up a couple of early opportunities. Normally, they're pretty good with how they do concede their defensive 50 entries, but this time not quite that way, Steve.
Umpire brings it back into the middle. Stranatica, Jamison once more. High bouncing ball. Bennett goes to ground. Jansen collected. Bennett streaming through the middle. A low ball. Good fist on that occasion from Marlin. Jansen again follows up. High ball. 2v1. West Coast with the numbers. Flynn taken to ground. West Coast able to just push the ball out of play and reset.
Yeah, good play there by Flint, and the follow-up as well by Carey down there. When you've had a couple of entries that have gone against you and given up a couple of goals, sometimes just getting the 50-50, you take that as a win, Steve.
Throw in, forward 50 for the Sharks. Stranatica takes full possession. Tough bouncing ball for Bennett to handle. O'Neill gets a tap, and it's to the advantage of Schoenfeld on the run. Kick on its way, and it's just faded across the goal face on that occasion.
Schoenfeld, probably drafted into the AFL, he was on the Gold Coast list for a while, was known for his elite endurance, and he's already showing early on. He was injured, as I said, last week, but he hasn't missed a trick in these first 6 or 7 minutes.
Very handy in for the East Fremantle midfield lineup today. Johnson with the kick-out duties for the Eagles. He thumps it long, got a good leg on him. Does Johnson. Stranatica flies. Can't bring it to ground. East Fremantle with control. They're receding ground at the moment. Jump round the corner. Ainsworth takes a good mark low down. Good to see Braden Ainsworth getting a game after a couple of sub attempts for the West Coast Eagles. Of course, coming in for Shannon Hearn in the Geelong game, but here are East Fremantle. They've got possession. Marsh has got a ton of room on the left forward flank.
Probably started with the O'Neill turnover, not one you can afford in when you're sort of trying to take it out of your back half there.
Short pass into the pocket, looking for either Dixon or Burton on that occasion, but a good West Coast fist sends it out of play.
Yeah, Carey in with the fist. He's been good early, coming into late for today's game. Carey's he's had an impact out back early, Steve.
Looks warm out there today, Cameron.
The other thing here, you can see or you can't see, but it is a bit of a fluky breeze. It looks like it's favouring the outer side here at Shark Park, Steve.
Fitzgerald wrapped up, nowhere to go.
Can be a little bit tricky and fluky, the bit breeze here, but with a bit of a sea breeze in at the moment, probably wafting to that outer side.
Jamison tapped toward the boundary. Not much room to move. O'Neill attempts the spin and collect. Loses control. Not one player inside West Coast forward half of the ground, and plenty inside this forward 50 for the Sharks.
If they can get that quick entry out of their back line, I'd like the ability. Jared Cameron there, he looks ready to poise. We just need to get a defensive clearance here, Steve.
Schoenfeld takes it cleanly but dispossessed. Have a look at the numbers around this contest. Good luck to you. Marsh has a crack. Got Boakhorse with a ton of room out the back of the contest. Long ball. Marlin. Good fist from Flint. Hot ball in the pocket. Marlin again. Good control. Sends it out of there, but it's all East Fremantle, and Boakhorse takes the mark. Probably the third touch that Boakhorse has had. He's sort of having a little bit of an impact early as well for East Fremantle. Another forward 50 entry. Good attempt there from the West Coast Eagles player. Carey again. And Carey stood his ground strong. I really like the way he has held his ground there, Steve. Johnson has O'Neill as the release. Gives back to Johnson. Just holds onto it. Bit fumbly. Ainsworth. Good pressure here from East Fremantle, pushing up to the player. And they force the ball in. Johnson couldn't quite break that tackle. You saw the Liquor Barons Carlisle sign just pulled on the back of his jumper there. If he could have just broken that tackle, might have been able to get a bit of ascendancy for West Coast. Great sponsors plug there, Cameron. You can't get the marketing man out of you. Throw in Stranatica and Jamison do battle once more. Good work there from Deegan. Little give. Long ball. Having to sit and wait on that occasion. Ty Sears. And that's a look at the first gamer for the West Coast Eagles in Ty Sears. It's a little bit of an unlucky bounce. If it just had bounced on a little bit further, he probably could have tapped that to his own advantage. May have had the step to be able to drive West Coast inside forward 50. They've had just one entry in the early going here, West Coast, but it was a tremendous conversion on that occasion. East Fremantle take control. This is Eardley. Takes a bounce in the back 50. Has Boakhorse in support. Streaming through the middle. Short pass. Lester Smith is on. Very open forward 50 for the Sharks. Wants to go short. Finds Dixon. West Coast streaming back. Dixon wants to pounce. Marsh has got a ton of space yet again. Just lost his opponent in traffic. And again, East Fremantle looking very dangerous when heading forward. Yeah, it's been an area of their game that they haven't converted as strongly. I think they're 52% for their scoring accuracy, which is second or third worst in the league. But today they've been able to find some gaps inside forward 50, and Jonathan March is working into those gaps really strongly. Jonathan Marsh. 29 games to his AFL resume. He's going to line up for his second of the afternoon. Gives it a good thump, but he's pulled it. And another behind for East Fremantle. Two to one straight. West Coast battling hard here. Halfway through the first quarter.
Just going to say, Bokhorst already up to 8 touches. He's having a real impact early on.
Again, Johnson trots out a full-back, thumps it long to the wing. Jamison the target, Jupp a fist, goes directly into the air. Deegan does well. Ainsworth shares with Humble. True, again, just bombs it long down the line. In best position on that occasion is Pornich, making his Waffle League debut this afternoon. The ball goes over. So
Pornich and Sears, two of those 3 new players that the Eagles have in today, both inside the forward half for the Eagles. They've been around it early. Hopefully they can grab a couple of kicks and hopefully grab a couple of goals there, Steve.
Stranatica so strong in the contest. Waffle player taken off it. English. Free kick's going to go his way.
Again, like Jamison's follow-up, he was there to sort of gather the secondary ball. He's again having impact secondary there, Jamison.
Thumps it long down the line. Marlin in best position. Free kick's going the other way though. In Fridge in the marking contest, and Dixon will take it about 70 out for the Sharks. Spots something inboard he likes. Goes over the head of Maguire. Not handled very well there from Wilson. Another chance for East Fremantle. Bokhorst weaving through traffic. Short pass doesn't quite get to Dixon. Humble collects. O'Neill back to True. To the wing. Looking for the skipper. Tried the back tap over the shoulder. Boundary line a win here for West Coast. Dixon corrals it. Bit sloppy play from both teams over the last couple of minutes. In the end though, Ainsworth very smooth through traffic on that occasion. Long ball from Marlin. In best position, Cameron. Wanted the spill over the top. Good fist from Mead. The follow-up from West Coast important here. And then in the end, the cavalry arrive. Baskerville. Here we go, Bokhorst working it out. Jansen, short little give. Bachman can't handle it.
Yeah, Mead's really developing as a small defender at Waffle level. He was probably out of position there against Jared Cameron, but just found himself a way to be able to get the knuckle onto the ball and get it to ground level, and East Fremantle were able to rebound from there.
Good pressure from West Coast, getting that forward 50 entry. Need to lock this ball in. Throw in left half forward. Stranatica goes up uncontested. He's dispossessed. True and Cameron pounce on the opponent, and True is going to be told to give that footy back.
Dare I say, a little bit unlucky there for the West Coast Eagles. Waffle. Stranatica tried to take it out of the ruck. Seemed like it was a clean tackle. Probably could have been paid, I reckon, there, Steve.
Borgogno had a crack at this one, which was good. Rebelliard, diving chest mark. All umpires called play on off the mark, he reckons, just in front of the broadcast side. That kicks an absolute Barry Crocker. It's a perfect switch for Davies, and he wants to move it quickly. Maguire dances around to West Coast Eagles player. Back to Baskerville. Short pass. This is Archie in his league debut. Goes long to the pocket. Marsh again. Too strong on that occasion for McGee. And he'll line up for his 3rd shot of the quarter.
3rd mark inside 50 for Jonathan Marsh. This will be you would say, his 3rd scoring shot of this opening quarter. It's again just showing, unfortunately, for that West Coast Eagles Waffle, they just don't have that big key defender that's able to go with Jonathan Marsh at the moment.
Now that switch in board on that occasion from Rebelliard, I'm pretty sure he'd want that one again.
And like the attack from East Fremantle, was Davies 11 to 12, Maguire to 13, Baskerville. They were attacking numerically there, but Steve.
Excellent, Cameron, well picked up. And Marsh makes no mistake on this occasion. That's his 2nd.
Yeah, he's having an impact. 2 goals, and the other, you'd say it was really a gettable chance. He could have had 3 goals in the opening quarter. East Fremantle 3-2-20 have gone out to a 14-point lead, and when you consider West Coast did have that first inside 50 and the first goal of the game inside the first couple of minutes, it's really been all East Fremantle for the last 13 or 14 minutes.
Blaine Bokhorst already worked his way up for 9 disposals. Doubles the amount of anyone near him.
Xavier O'Neill's already had 4 tackles. We've mentioned him a couple of times. He's probably a couple of areas he'd like to have over again, but he is working hard in there, which I know that Coach Daniel Pratt and Senior Coach Adam Simpson will like. Looks like Bulgogno into the ruck now as well.
Looking at the way the flags are blowing, you'd say West Coast have got somewhat of a breeze to start this quarter. Cameron?
It can be a little bit fluky and tricky, and the ball has been caught out on that side a little bit. So East Fremantle probably handled the wind conditions a little bit better early on, as you'd expect. They do train here every week, Steve.
O'Neill with the clearance. Portage sees it over the boundary line. Good contest with Erdley on that occasion.
West Coast are getting some drive out of their key young midfielders. O'Neill's been good. Ainsworth, we've seen a couple of times, has done a couple of nice things.
Throw in right half forward for West Coast. Again, O'Neill with the clearance. Bangs it forward. Just over the boundary line for a throw-in.
So you just like the West Coast Eagles waffle to get something from this entry. They've just had the run of the play for the last little bit. East Fremantle were able to get a goal on the counter off a turnover. Can the West Coast Eagles waffle make the most of this forward opportunity?
Just waiting a while to go and collect the Sharon on this occasion.
Need one of those fans over on the bow. There's a couple sitting in the chair. They just need to get out of the chair and go and help out the umpire there, Steve.
Agreed. Throw in, forward 50 for West Coast. Deegan can't get boot to ball. Hot footy, Davies. Handball to no one in particular. Jansen, the sweeper for the Sharks. Can't get them out of trouble on this occasion. A hot footy, and in the end, the quick kick works. Mark on the chest from Burton. But a West Coast Eagles player down at forward 50. Looks like Deegan, and I give you the hot tip. West Coast do not need more injuries at this point in time. The umpire looks like he's going to stop play, and this is going to be a massive shame for West Coast. Joey Deegan.
Tough midfielder, Joey Deegan. He was the Jamison medalist as the A-grade fairest and best last year. He gutted out the A-grade grand final last year when he was put under a lot of heavy pressure. He's a tough player. He wouldn't be, I think, milking any sort of injury. I think there's a little bit going on there with that ankle, unfortunately, Steve.
He spent a fair bit of time in the midfield against Peel Thunder last week with a career-high 21 disposals, and being a North Beach man, it's been great to follow his rise just into the waffle level. We're having a look at the replay just now.
Off the back of the contest there, it was just seemed to sort of climb a little bit awkwardly. Here it is again. You can just see it. He's just down there, just before that contest. I reckon he's may have either landed awkwardly or just had a little bit of contact made. You have a look just behind the ball at the moment. This is what East Fremantle are doing really well, is they're getting Jonathan Marsh into lots of space. We've said how he's had the 3 marks early on, and the West Coast Waffle maybe just need to have a look at making sure there's a third man to be able to get across and give some assistance, because at the moment Jonathan Marsh is having a field day up forward for East Fremantle.
Jubb has it in the back pocket for East Freo. Deegan's still not off the ground, so why they wanted to restart play is a little bit beyond me. Out of the area, I guess. Long ball down the line. Schoenfeld takes it. Has Erdley in board. Precise kick. They want to move it fast here, East Fremantle. Goes long down the line. Marsh, he's been red hot this quarter. Tremendous pick up there from Bachman. Ball trickling to left half forward for the Sharks. Great work there from Carey. Locked it up. Still a hot footy on the far side, and there's Jacob Brennan in his bright pink runner's gear. Look at a treat. Have a throw in.
Yeah, it was a good spoil there on Marsh. Sometimes you just need that one-on-one win just to get yourself back in the contest. So nice to see the West Coast Eagle waffle defender be able to make that one-on-one spoil.
Jamison takes it from the ruck. Great work, True. Coming through O'Neill, who's looked sharp early. Gets a second dip at it. Handball inside. Can't be gathered by Sears on this occasion. Davies, blind handball up in the sky. English little toe poke, Dixon. Looking for Bennett. Schoenfeld taken in the tackle. Just get rid of it in time. A high ball down the wing. Jamison with the flight. Courageous against Bachman. They've got a bit of run on here, the Sharks. Ball inside forward 50, but Chaz Flint there to take it Han solo.
Yeah, Flint and Sinclair have started to just get a little bit more space and give them, I guess, a little bit more of an option on the out here, West Coast Eagle waffle.
Not the best kick there, but Sinclair's got a bit of time, or he had for a little while. 2v1. Good contest there from Lester Smith. And in the end, an easy switch from West Coast is taken out of play, and a win for the Sharks.
Good follow-up from Sinclair after he sort of made the little skill error. He was able to fight it out sometimes, even though you've got the skill error. If you can show that endeavour, that can be the way to halve those sort of contests, Steve.
Throw in right half forward for the Sharks. Dixon doing the ruck work against Jamison. Schoenfeld dispossessed. Jamison again working hard at ground level. Great work on that occasion from Sears. Possibly moving up into some midfield time with Deegan on the bench. Lester Smith has it. Quickly on the boot. Just inside 50. Gee, that's a good mark there from Murphy.
Second time he's been able to hit the contest hard like that, Max Murphy.
Their forwards have looked dangerous. Is he signalling, I'm going to have a dip from here?
From 55 to 60 metres, I wouldn't think so.
Short pass inside. Bokhorst, same distance out, better angle.
Just another one to watch. Stranatica already up to 11 hitouts. He does average 38 a contest. He does lead the league for that statistic. On track to have another big day in the ruck.
Yeah, it's a good challenge for Callum Jamison there. Quality opponent.
Jamison, a couple of early tackles and had 5 hitouts of his own, so he certainly hasn't been disgraced in there. In fact, his secondary efforts have been really good.
Bokhorst, sideways helicopter kick. Stranatica, too big, too strong. Takes it just to the top of the goal square.
Yeah, be interested to have a look at the replay there just to see how Stranatica was able to get there. Jamison had the body on him for a little bit, but Stranatica, that real big body that he is, was just able to get the front position when he needed to. Good lesson there for young Jamison on, I guess, when your opponent does take you deep inside forward 50.
Luke Stranatica in his 56th waffle game. Comes in easy as you like. East Fremantle with their 4th.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit dangerous here for the West Coast Eagles waffle team. Can't complain about the endeavour that they've shown, but there's just a couple of those, I guess, East Fremantle prime movers that are having an impact. Stranatica, it looks like, if we have a look at the replay, Carey coming across to try and help out, but Stranatica just too big, and they was able to keep his eyes on the ball and take it at the second or third grab.
Not the desired start for the West Coast Eagles. The senior team will be watching on from some hotel in Melbourne, all together as a squad, which is quality. Brendan Archie, of course, watching his brother take the field for the first time in the league team. Saw Shannon Hearn in the stands here. Obviously not a lot to do on Saturday, but good to see the premiership skipper come down and have a watchful eye over these youngsters.
Jacob Archie, a very good story in himself. 25 years old, making his league debut for East Fremantle. Came back to the club at the start of the year and has had some impact at the reserves level for them.
Won the league Resi's medal, I believe. What domination after 3 years out of the game. Again, East Fremantle the clearance. Jansen bounces off of Dixon's chest, but he gets another dip at it. Little give to English. Again, dangerous ball. I'll have a look at these marking forwards for the Sharks. Murphy on this occasion just floating across the pack and takes it.
Yeah, third mark from Murphy, and just looks like just timed the leap there. Just completely out of whack there.
You would think Fitzgerald was meant to come in and kill that contest, but just missed the ball on that occasion. And again, his high forward 50 entries paying dividends for the Sharks. Max Murphy for his second. He's tugged it left and a let off there for West Coast.
Yeah, just saw it go on the breeze. It probably wasn't the right side. Need to start it on the right and let it roll in. He started on the left, but it just went a little bit further left. Just a little outside there, Steve.
I am going to count how many major league references you're going to throw into today's call, Cameron. You know I like it. Scoreboard looking a little malnourished from West Coast point of view. 4-3 to 1 straight. It was the first goal of the game if you're just joining us. This afternoon's live stream, courtesy of Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better. In the end, Tucker's handball for Eardley set him a task. Good tackle there from Brayshaw. True collects. Opts not to go inside, down the line. 2v2, an opportunity. Sears just drops the mark. Rebillard working hard. Mead, first to it. Bennett, very interesting kick on that occasion. From the big fella in jump. Hansen, a check side ball. Interesting delivery for his forwards, but great contest there from Rebillard. Early there to mop up. Shares with Baskerville, and the danger is averted for East Fremantle.
Second time that Cameron's lost his footing there. Maybe go to the deep stud, Steve.
Doesn't seem like a deep stud day here today.
Maybe a little bit of the rain during the week. East Fremantle Oval notorious for being able to keep a bit of moisture in it. Just looking down below us, Joey Deegan trying to get something going, but that ankle is still favouring it.
True comes in, takes the grab for his 6th disposal of the afternoon at right half forward. Turnover is ensued. Tucker round the corner, and here's Archie. Takes another grab. Wants to send this long down the line. Jamison front position, and that's strong hands there from the youngster. Wants to move it quickly into the safe hands of Jamison. Feeney gives to Ainsworth, and here's a crack. Oh, the kick is just a touch too long on that occasion for Sears. And East Fremantle too good. They mop up. Jansen gives it back to Leggett. Good goalkeeper save there from Johnson. Made an impact. Did he jump into his opponent's back? That's what the shark pit will tell you. The umpire's going to pay holding the ball. Have a listen to those fans.
Good follow-up, though, from Johnson. He stuck with the contest. He's been one of the Eagles' best here early on.
Cameron coming off for a spell. Michael Humble takes the park in his place. Johnson's going to send it toward the interchange gates, and Davies just takes it cleanly over Ainsworth on that occasion. Difficult ball to mark that one.
The probably 2 errors in this quarter that probably a little bit unforgivable. We've had Ainsworth and O'Neill, 2 of the better users by ball that have turned it over in the middle of the ground. Can't afford that on a day-to-day. They need to be, I guess, leading the charge for the West Coast Eagles waffle.
Jansen sends it wide to Erdley. Kick, Bokhorst handles it cleanly. Back to Erdley. To left half forward. Good take there from Marsh, who's been the intended target for most of this term. Pumps it long inside 50. Ainsworth has to stand his ground, does well. Sinclair, quality tackle on Stranatica. And Feeney just says, get this out of here.
Really like the way that East Fremantle are working for one another in their forward line. They just seem to be making space really well. You have a look at a couple of the times that Marsh has been able to get those extra 2 or 3 metres. A lot of the time it's just one of the smaller guys just putting in a little block. So I like the way that they're working. Typical of a Bill Monahan coach side, I would say, Steve.
Throw in broadcast wing. Stranatica wins the hit out to Bennett. Good work there from the Eagles at the coalface. Johnson has O'Neill, but the handball missed its target. Bennett can't collect, and the ball trickles over the line.
Again, good follow-up from O'Neill. Wasn't the handball he was expecting from Johnson, but was able to halve the contest, get it out of bounds, and the West Coast Eagles waffle will look to try and reload with Jamison in the ruck.
Reset again, throw in. Stranatica tries to take it. Geez, he's done well. Give to Bennett, to Schoenfeld. Short pass. It's Murphy on the chest.
Been very lively early, Murphy.
Dixon, the intended target. Good harassing defence from Carey on that occasion. And this kick would want to find the boundary line for West Coast. Deliberate, you know it is.
A little bit harsh, just trying to clear the area, but East Fremantle the chance to reload.
Lester Smith, no one in the mark. So he plays on quickly, and Marlin reads it best. Left back pocket for the Eagles.
Marlin becoming a bit of a Mr. Fix-It for this West Coast Eagles waffle. He's sort of played in a couple of different positions, but he's settled in down back to today, and he's been okay for them down there, Steve.
Touched into the man on the mark. Here's a chance for the Sharks. English gives. Burton handball over the top. Dixon's a left footer. Will want to bend this round. Didn't even get the distance in the end. What a great save on that occasion from Fitzgerald.
Yeah, as we say, Fitzgerald's had a tough opening quarter going 1-on-1 against Marsh, but again, doing the team thing there, able to get back and force it over. It's 4 goals for East Fremantle, 1 straight goal. West Coast Eagles on the Hungry Jacks live stream.
McGee, the former Tiger, little chip to Fitzgerald. As O'Neill short, ignores him. It's going to go long down the line. Big pack of players. Borgogno, the target off from behind Stranatica. That was well read.
He did. He got a free run at it, though. He just needed someone to put a body on him and just try and keep him out of that contest a little bit.
As they attempt to switch up play, the siren will beat them out, but a successful quarter for the Sharks to open proceedings here at New Choice Homes Park. They lead the West Coast Eagles 4-4-28, and the West Coast 1 straight 6. This stream is courtesy of Hungry Jacks. We look forward to seeing you shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached quarter time here at East Fremantle Oval. So far, East Fremantle in control of this contest. As you see, 4-4-28, the West Coast Eagles 1 goal straight. Cameron Palmer running through the major disposal winners for the first term.
Well, if we have a look at just the overall team stats, it probably indicates what the way the scoreboard is. East Fremantle lead the disposals 114-63, marks 35-13, and a number of those marks have been taken inside 50. Hit-outs 13-8. Jamison has battled manfully against Stranatica. Inside 50s, 15-4 the way of East Fremantle. If we look at the major stat winners, Bokhurst, who was very good early, has got 11 disposals for East Fremantle. Cam Erdley, good in the back half as well. He's had 10. Luke English and Jared Jansen with 8 each. For the West Coast Eagles, Waffle, Ben Johnson, very good in defence with 10, and Xavier O'Neill has had 9 to be the prime midfield mover for those Eagles.
Well called, and the majors so far for East Fremantle. Jonathan Marsh has got a couple, Max Murphy with 1, Luke Stranatica with 1, and Xavier O'Neill, the solo goal kicker for West Coast, as the umpire gets set to begin this second term. Here at Shark Park, slams it down. Stranatica again against Jamison. And that's not going anywhere.
Just quickly around the ground, Steve, one of the scores early on. Peel Thunder, 8 goals straight in the first quarter against Perth, 2 goals, 1. Big first quarter for Peel.
What a monster. Back in the middle, Stranatica locks up the skipper and Hamish Brayshaw.
And just some of those other around the ground scores. Claremont, who've been undefeated so far, they've fallen 21 points behind Asubi early in the second quarter. Asubi 29-8 over Claremont.
Quality work there, Cameron. Again, Schoenfeld, class to Lester Smith. Dribbling ball on the far wing, Marsh. Quality tackle on that occasion against McGee. Goes back and fetches it again. Lester Smith streaming through the middle. Lowers the eyes. Short Parks is on target, but brilliant spoil on that occasion. Fitzgerald receives it back. O'Neill sets Ainsworth up. Couple of tacklers, Leggett, Jansen, one of them. Marsh swoops. Back feed to Schoenfeld. His pass hits the deck, but Dixon handles it cleanly. Little give. English leaves it behind. Again, Dixon, Jansen. He's going to have a ping from about 35 out. He slots it. East Fremantle with some persistent play there. Get the reward.
Yeah, just a little bit disappointing from the West Coast Eagle Waffle defenders. They just gave up a couple of free men inside the East Fremantle forward 50, and Jansen able to get on the end of it. And a clinical finish from Jansen. Just wrapping up the rest of those around the ground scores. Swan Districts lead West Perth 2 goals 2 to 1 goal straight. And down at Fremantle Community Bank Oval, it's South Fremantle with a 24-8 lead over East Perth.
We were discussing at quarter time, Cam, the vastly different side the West Coast are trotting out in comparison to their round 1 team against Perth that almost beat the Demons on their home deck, or I guess it's both home decks on that occasion. They had 12 West Coast listed players on that day and just the 6 this afternoon. So it just shows what the injury bug can do to a club, an alignment club as well, when they're trying to fill a Waffle team. Still want to put in a valiant effort against East Fremantle here, who are currently sitting 5th on the Waffle ladder. Bit of ping pong, but True comes up with it. O'Neill, little give to Sinclair. Sears had some space but lost his footing, and Erdley makes sure he goes over the boundary line.
Sinclair's had a little bit of it. He seems to be finding a little bit of footing out there on the wing. And again, below us, Joey Deegan still trying to get that ankle going, trying to do the thing for the team, just to help out with the rotation, I'd suggest there, Steve.
Throw in, right half forward for the Eagles. Jamison, good hit out. English and Brayshaw, they do battle. Jamison at the bottom of the pack, and he sits on it.
It's interesting when you talk about how quickly the teams do change. If you go back 2 years ago, these two teams played at this venue, and I reckon there's probably only 3 players that have standing over from that game.
O'Neill, a little sideways kick, unfortunate for the Eagles, goes out on the full.
Probably not the best decision young Xavier's ever made, but that's the beauty of it. He'll get a chance to make amends.
Stranatica probably wants to be on the end of this kick. He goes in the Dixon direction, and what a grab from behind from Fitzgerald. Lets him know about it. Just in front of the commentary box.
Yeah, looks like they've made the change there. So Fitzgerald was on Marsh early. He's gone to Dixon. And just having a look at that mark again on replay. Really good grab. Coming from too deep over the back, making it happen.
front position. Easy pickings there for Eardley. The switch is on. Jupp just on the paint of the defensive 50 to Boakhorst. Feints the handball. Gets past Sinclair. Marsh on in the middle. He's pushed further up the ground now. He's got a couple loose on broadcast wing. They're still on. Short pass in Mead. And again, no one picking these boys up. Davies on his preferred left. Has the short option. Good defence there from Johnson. Can't reel in from Burton. Schoenfeld back to Burton. Cameron takes it without it. Davies wants the advantage. Sees something he likes. It goes back to the left footer. He's going to snap around the corner. Finishing short of goal. McGee. Cool under pressure. Can't find a target though. Goes out of bounds on the full.
Joey Deegan just come back onto the ground. We said how tough he was. To see him fighting on is really good for his West Coast Eagles waffle teammates.
That's just true North Beach heart that you can't teach, Cameron. Schoenfeld from a very difficult angle. Just inside 50. Puts it to the hot spot. Difficult ball to mark. Spun sideways. Still a chance here. Bachman circling the contest. Gives to Burton. Smothered off the boot. Fitzgerald just puts it 10 metres directly up. Cameron. Oh, they've paid the mark, in fact. Just travelled the required distance. Good mark there from Jared Cameron.
First touch for Jared Cameron. He's come up the ground a little bit, obviously trying to get him a little bit more into the game, Steve.
Joey Deegan, he'll give the ankle a good test on this occasion. Borgogno from the back in support. Humble sees it over the line. Good
contest there from Borgogno as well. He's, again, got a little bit of height. One of the taller members of this West Coast Eagles waffle team. Going to need him to certainly lift across this remaining three quarters.
Had his league debut last week against Peel Thunder. This is Schoenfeld. Forward 50 entry. Lace out delivery.
Beat me to the punch there. I was going to say that's one of the best inside 50 entries we've seen so far. Schoenfeld lace out.
Nick Comer wants to move it fast. Is that Davies just sneaking inside forward 50? So Morgan Davies.
He's starting to have a little bit of an impact as well there, Morgan Davies. He's been a good last 6 or 7 minutes of the first quarter and a couple of early touches as well inside 50 in this second quarter, Steve.
Had his first league game last week against the Demons.
He's become a real regular, a real favourite of Coach Bill Monahan, I believe.
He's going to strike it from just inside the paint of the 50. Gives it a good ride. And that's all the way through. What a strike there from Morgan Davies.
And he really liked it, got the hand up almost before it even crossed the line, so he knew he hit it pretty cleanly. And if we do look at that scoreboard, it's a little bit of ugly reading for the West Coast Eagles waffle right now. East Fremantle have kicked the last 40 points of this game. They're up to 6 goals, 440. West Coast Eagles still only have that one Xavier O'Neill goal from early in the first quarter.
Now they've got the first 2 straight on the board so far, East Fremantle.
Boakhorst up to 14 disposals now, so we've only travelled 6 or 7 minutes in this second quarter. He's on for a big day. Blame Boakhorst. Interestingly, Boakhorst actually had a career low, or at least Fremantle career low, 8 disposals last week. He beat that in the first quarter.
He's come out absolutely firing this afternoon, Cam, as the umpire prepares to restart play back in the middle. Jamison, Brayshaw, O'Neill and True in the centre for the West Coast Eagles. Stranatica takes possession. Jansen, have a look at the size of him. Brayshaw just brings him to the turf. We'll do it all again.
Yeah, good tackle there from True and Brayshaw.
Ball up. Stranatica finds Bennett. Tremendous tackle there from Jamison. Make sure there's no clearance for the Sharks.
Still very much a one-on-one defensive 50 for the West Coast Eagles waffle. They're backing their guys in to be able to regroup.
East Fremantle are retreating, but they're keeping possession. Or that handball's a little errant for Davies on that occasion. Wild handball from Sears. Turns it over. Bennett kicks it straight to the backside of Brandon Ainsworth. Will get another dip at it. Leggett just moves past Humble with a bit of ease. Stranatica, that's strong mark. Lester Smith calls for it. Fumbles at the critical moment, but moves past Jamison. Too easy on that occasion, and have a look at that ball for Marsh. They may have fumbled in the middle, but geez, they capped it off nicely, the Sharks.
Yeah, Jonathan Marsh, they've moved him, Jonathan Marsh taking the mark there. It's his 4th or 5th mark inside forward 50 now, and a chance to kick his 3rd goal, Steve.
It would be the 3rd for East Fremantle in this second term. West Coast having a little trouble moving the ball in the early going.
Just need to set this ball up, Marsh, and let the breeze carry it around to the right, I reckon, Steve.
He's a pretty good kick of the footy, and that is no exception. What a strike there from Marsh. That's number 3.
Third goal in the quarter for East Fremantle, and third goal for the game for Marsh. And again, that makes it 7 on the trot for East Fremantle. Look, the West Coast Eagles waffle side still, look, they're still fighting it out. They're still battling, but you're just seeing, as we sort of said throughout the game, just lacking those couple of key defenders and a couple, I guess, of those extra AFL listed players. We've only got 6 in, only 1 in that back 6 at the moment in Ben Johnson.
No, I don't think he's going to get the job of guarding Marsh for the afternoon either, Cameron.
It is an inexperienced back 6. They, I think, again, they're battling, but just lacking that little bit of class, I reckon, at the moment, Steve.
Luke Foley, a big out for this West Coast Eagles team. We're going to see the teams announced for the AFL level this afternoon, so I'd be keen to see if he gets his second game in West Coast colours. You'd have to think with Liam Duggan exiting the side, he's a fair chance. Out of the middle, Brayshaw, Ainsworth, some right foot action if you don't mind, but the result no good. Eardley fills the hole nicely. The big ruckman Stranatica gets on his bike, takes it on the far side. Bennett screaming for it on the inside, but that is a genuine floater in his direction. Have a look at the moves from Archie. No wonder he claims he's the best brother of the 3. And he has a release out on the outside in Baskerville.
It was a good clean pick up there, and you could see a little bit of that Archie class as he weaved through traffic.
Murphy gets on his bike, sends it to half forward. West Coast in best position, and that's a good mark from Chaz Flint.
Yeah, Flint's been serviceable back there as well.
He's going to see a fair bit of the ball today, I dare say. Short pass goes sideways. Borgogno, one of the greatest names in waffle footy. Bit uncertain of himself on this occasion, just pumps it long down the line. Front position, Rebillard, good spoil from Eardley. Deegan trying to impact the contest. Good smother then from Chaz Flint. Ainsworth collects. O'Neill, short pass, Brayshaw. Here's a bit of run from West Coast. Johnson spots Feeney on the outer side. Short that will give Humble. He's got Hanson over the top if he sees him. Have a look at the run from Jupp. Can't get there in time. It's 1 out inside forward 50 if he goes now. Tries to step his opponent, goes inside. Brayshaw. Again, West Coast just working it around the perimeter. It's given East Freo a chance to get back. Oh, that is, it's almost capped off a brilliant bit of ball movement, but the drop mark late from Wilson. Disappointing. Archie fights for it. And a golden chance for a shot on goal from West Coast goes begging.
Just a little bit of the difference, the inability to get the ball moving a little bit quicker. East Fremantle have been able to do that really well through the game, and if they just had got the ball moving a little bit quicker, use that open forward line to their advantage.
Borgogno, Brayshaw can't get boot to ball. Plenty of numbers around this pack. True's there, Brayshaw again, minding the footy. Looking for a back feed. Archie makes sure there's none of that. Little tap out, Johnson. He's beset upon by about 3 Sharks numbers. Brayshaw again fighting hard. Deegan at ground level. Humble. That ball somehow ends up in Bokhorst's hands. Must be his day today. English. Got a bit of time. Back to Bokhorst. Great defensive work there. Again from West Coast Eagles. Keeping this ball trapped inside 50. It was Chaz Flint again with his second smother within a couple of minutes, and that's trapped the ball for another opportunity in a forward 50 stoppage.
You did mention Flint that he was going to have a bit to do, and he's had a bit to do in the last 2 or 3 minutes since you've made that call, Steve.
Borgogno doing battle again with Stranatica. Brayshaw, clever tap. Ainsworth looking for a teammate in O'Neill.
I was going to say, worth noting, Borgogno did play some reserves football at East Fremantle in the past years, so he may know what Stranatica's sort of hit zones are, because he does seem to be nullifying his impact around the contest just at the moment.
Throw in. Right half forward for West Coast. True. Provides the clinging tackle. Somehow Bennett still extracts the footy on that occasion. Schoenfeld, back feed. Baskerville pulls the trigger on the inside, just over the head of Bachman. Here's a chance. Collected. Pornich wheels around on the right boot. Hanson the target. Keeps the ball in front of him. East Fremantle attempting to take it back. Baskerville provides a good tackle, and the umpire will throw it up inside forward 50 for the West Coast.
That was clever from Hanson. He was outnumbered there, just sort of positioned his body and was able to get the ball down to ground, and then his follow-up was good at ground level as well.
Quick little clearing kick. Ainsworth can't handle it. Here's a chance. Look at East Fremantle streaming through the middle. Bokhorst had nowhere to go in the end. Fitzgerald put the stops on him. Brayshaw can't get rid of it. Cameron has a crack. Taken by Jansen. Humble fighting hard. In the end, East Fremantle get out of trouble. Maguire, handball. If the ball can sit for Bockman. Goes back inside, short little pass. Gee, that's courageous from Flint. He's had a good couple of minutes, went back into the unknown.
They just seem to be pushing sort of an extra number behind the ball. Harry Sinclair was able to get up, make the impact of the contest. That allowed Chaz Flint to come over on the next one as the third man. So I think some good moves in the box there by Coach Daniel Pratt.
Great use of the body there from Ainsworth on Burton. I think the only bloke shorter than him on the ground for East Freo. Takes a good mark. Wheels. Pumps it long. Borgogno makes a contest. Erdley tackled from Deegan. Here's a bit of pressure from West Coast, although a little bit too enthusiastic. Yeah, free kick going to Erdley.
Pushing the back, coming back to Erdley.
He's got Jansen on in the middle of the ground. Quick handball. Schoenfield flashing past. Able to contain it from outside 50. Goes long. One-on-one contest. Marsh, too big, too strong. Plays on. Easy as you like against McGee. And that's number 4 for Jonathan Marsh. He's having a day out.
Yeah, I think that may be actually a career best in the waffle now for Jonathan Marsh. He's a big body down there, and that time it was probably more just getting himself into the right position over the back as the kick came in from Schoenfield, who's been very good as well. Good finish from Marsh, taking on the tackle, getting it through, and you see that strong body with another goal for East Fremantle. 8 on the bounce for East Fremantle, Steve.
Jalen McGee did his absolute best to contain him with that tackle, but came up well short.
Just on that, Schoenfield, 13 disposals and 8 tackles, as we said earlier, known for his endurance, but he's certainly doing some hard work on the inside at the moment as well.
A handy in, you're telling me, Cameron.
He is. Him and Luke English, who did miss last week. They were 2 big outs. Perth got on top of that game against East Fremantle early, and East Fremantle were never really able to get back in the contest. It's a little bit the opposite today, where East Fremantle put all the running on early on.
They're currently tied in 5th with Peel and Perth, so I'm sure a bit of percentage will do them wonders. West Coast just looking to get back on the scoreboard in this second term. Ainsworth provides a tackle on Jansen. High, though, says the umpire.
Yeah, I thought the Jansen ducked into a little bit unlucky there for Ainsworth.
Short pass, Erdley. Working off half-back for East Fremantle. Kick is precise, finds Comma.
Erdley's one that he's moved more into the back half with all the runners they've got through the midfield, and he's you can see that he's I guess his poise in the back half and his ball use is really important.
Bennett has it for the Sharks. Wants to go down the line. Long lead from Burton on this occasion, and Flint, good defensive spoil, sends it over the line.
One of the Eagles' best here in the second quarter, Chaz Flint. A couple of those 1%ers, 2 smothers. That one a spoil and intercept mark. He's doing it all on the coach's stat sheet, Steve.
Yeah, it's just up to 4 disposals as Chaz Flint, so doing it all this term, as he said. Jamison, front position. Stacks on the mill. Dixon appealing. Umpire says, nah, wouldn't have thought so, mate. Have a ball up.
And probably the other end, you sort of see that inexperience. Wilson, Sears, the 2 of the new guys, sort of only the 1 touch so far, just battling to have an impact right now.
Brayshaw snaps it down the line. Borgogno can't take it. Maguire beats him in the contest. Erdley just thumps it long. Jamison with the flight, has a fair crack. Marlin gets in his way. A chance now for East Fremantle. Great centering ball, and why wouldn't you be looking for this bloke at the moment? He's getting set for number 5. Great inboard pass on that occasion from Bokhorst.
Yeah, I reckon Harry Sinclair probably like his time over again, probably, and when that's when Jonathan Marsh is on, you probably don't want to get in his way, but probably just had the chance to maybe make a last-ditch effort at pulling that one down, but Jonathan Marsh is in some sort of form. You claiming that one as a pass if you blame Bokhorst?
Absolutely. That was well centred. I'm going to give him that one. Marsh for his 5th goal before half-time. He slams it into the woodwork. He's stuck at 4 for the time being.
4 goals, 2 now for Jonathan Marsh. He's up to 8 marks from 11 disposals.
4 goals, 1. The only blemish on the scorecard for this term for the Sharks. West Coast haven't troubled the scorers since the opening minute of the game, Cameron.
So Leonard Marlin taking the kick out. I think Ben Johnson had taken every kick out up until that point. He may be having a little bit of a breather on the bench at the moment.
Ainsworth dabs the pass, finds Marlin.
Looks like West Coast may just be looking to control the tempo at the moment. Just hold on to the ball for a little bit, a couple of short passes in their back 50.
He sends it long down the line. Maguire flies early. Tucker. Dixon. Fakes the kick, back to Jansen. Oh, what a perfect pass from Comma. Didn't break stride. Bennett streaming pass. Again, one-on-one. Dangerous areas. Marsh just moves Feeney off it with ease. And you can see just a clear mismatch down there. You can't guard him.
Again, we've had Fitzgerald, we've had McGee, that time Feeney. A number of different guys have had a crack one-on-one with Jonathan Marsh, but unfortunately for the West Coast Eagles waffle, the result has been the same every time. It's ended with Jonathan Marsh clunking the grab and lining up with a shot on goal.
They're certainly looking for him thus far in the contest, and why wouldn't you? Jonathan Marsh rectifies his earlier mistake. That's number 5.
Yeah, and I think you've pointed into his midfield there, and that's been one of the things that's been, I guess, important about his 5-goal performance is he's getting great supply from his midfielders. So they're looking for him, but they're also hitting him in the right spots. He's kicked the last 3 goals of the game as well, so that's he's having an impact.
Well said, Cameron.
You eventually run out of adjectives to describe a guy when he's taken 9 marks now.
He's every chance to kick 10 today, in all honesty. He is every chance. If they're going to look for him on every forward 50 entry, buckle up.
He's got 10 on his back. Hopefully he doesn't have 10 on the boot. Bocost up to 19. O'Neill leading the West Coast Eagles with 14. And, of course, that sole goal from very, very early in the game.
Seems like last week when we reflect on it. Stranatica has the hit out. Rayshaw's claimed immediately.
I was going to say...
The umpire's circling. I don't like the looks of this, and he's pinged him. Good tackle there from English. Bit of remonstration.
I was going to say, you know Hamish pretty well. Do you reckon he'd be happy with that decision from the umpire?
I couldn't see it happening on that occasion, Cameron. Long ball inside 50. Oh, it's a bit of a scrubber, but have a look at Archie heading back with the flight into the unknown, takes the mark, and set yourself up, Cameron, lining up for his first waffle goal at senior level.
Yeah, again, it's luck's a fortune. There's been a few times they've had the entry probably come in a little bit of a tumbler, a little bit of a floater, but if you put yourself in a dangerous spot, they've just caught the back end of the mark there. There's 3 Eagles around it, but the ball just fell into the spot that Jacob Archie was.
He's the middle brother in between Cowell and Brennan, and here's a chance to get on the scoreboard. He's put it through. What a moment for Archie.
And would you say that Brendan, watching the live stream, no doubt over wherever he is, that he'd be salivating over that goal?
It's a 10-goal margin. He'd be fist pumping for sure. If it's the last minute of the game and it's going to decide it, well, that's a different kettle of fish. But what a moment there from Archie.
His teammates get around him. You've got to love that first league goal. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face there, and he's given a little thumbs up to one of his teammates. But he's had an impact. Like we mentioned earlier in the second quarter, he picked one up in the middle, flashed in and out of play, and that's another good one.
Brennan says he's taller than him and more athletic than Cal. So what's he doing at this level?
Why is this only his first league game? Why are East Fremantle not looking for him? Maybe instead of having Jonathan Marsh out there, let's get Jacob Archie involved.
Hadn't played any footy of the last 3 years. Decided to come down. Didn't know anyone. Came down to the club. Had a hit. And what do you know? One of Resi's best and fairest. So great to see him get a crack at the top level. Ball back in the middle. West Coast desperate for a forward 50 entry at this point in time. Ainsworth collected from Bennett. The umpire will ball it up.
It is the one hard thing now with the way the rules are set up. When a team is on like this, it's very hard to be able to stop the momentum. It really starts in the midfield. This young Eagles midfield is they're learning a lot, I think, about themselves and what you need to do when the other team has the momentum.
You could send the Hulk back there. It's not going to matter too much on this occasion, Cam. Davies lowers the eyes, looking for Murphy, keeps it in front of him, does well. Oh, have a look. He's danced through two of them. Oh, he's actually given it off, if you don't mind. On the wrong side, though, Davies. Didn't want any part of his right foot on that occasion. Out on the full.
Dare I say, typical left footer. Didn't want to go to that right side. Was going to find the left no matter what.
I thought Marsh was having a shot no matter what after he weaved through two of them, but did the team thing.
He was. He got around. I mean, that's one of the things you sort of, I guess, forget. He's a big, strapping body, but he does move really well. I mean, he's been on Collingwood's list. He's been on St Kilda's list. You can see he's got that added class at this level, Steve.
Spoil on that occasion from Maguire, sends it out of play. Right half forward for East Fremantle. Played 24 minutes here in the second term. Stranatica just palms the ball on that occasion. Rebillard brings him to the deck. Not long to go in this term. Ball trickles out the back. Eardley takes the tackler on. Humble collects him and he's rewarded on this occasion.
Yeah, good effort there from Humble. Again, you can't question the fight and the spirit that the Eagles waffle side is showing. Hopefully they can make the most of a late entry, perhaps.
That ball, oh, Jesus, done well from Sinclair to even bring it to ground. But again, East Fremantle with a truckload of numbers at the spill of the ball. Davies, short pass to Bennett. Lester Smith offers. Marks on the broadcast wing.
Yeah, they're doing it all at the moment, East Fremantle. Spreading really well. You saw in that transition of play, just had the number of players that were spreading to present an option.
Schoenfeld. Dixon wants it long. He obliges. He's going to have to fly against two Eagles. Gets first hands on it. McGee the second no. Handball. Bachman steals it. Handball inside to Marsh. That was pretty. Handball inside Jansen. Got the speed wobbles a bit. To Comma. English. Can he finish off a good team goal? He does. Training drill for the Sharks on that occasion, and that's their 7th of the second quarter.
Yeah, and that's, again, just a disappointing thing. Just no pressure in the end. Just able to loop from one man to another, and eventually it was lucky number 32 in the middle of the ground that was able to line it up and kick the 11th goal on the bounce for East Fremantle.
Because it was slated to be a tough afternoon for West Coast with all the soldiers down they have at the top level. Has its trickle-down effect.
If you just have a look now, the 8 leading possession winners on the ground all have it wearing blue and white. And Marsh amongst them, he's now up to 15 disposals, 10 marks, 5 goals, 2. A couple of handballs in the last couple of minutes as well. Setting them up as well as kicking them.
Despite the lopsided result, as it stands at the moment, we are thrilled to have your company this afternoon for this West Coast Eagles live stream, courtesy of Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are a lot better than that bounce. He'll recall it and do it again.
Borgogno back in the ruck. He has continued to battle. And that's the one area I think Borgogno and Jamison have put up a pretty good fighting effort against Stranatica.
Back in the middle. Burton does well. Mines that ball out. Bokhorst looking for English. Eventually gathers, short pass. Bachman's got about 15 metres, his on opponent. Wheels around on the left foot and have a looking for Marsh. Just a bit too tall for him. Ainsworth, long clearing kick. Good contest from Rebillard. Taking on Leggett. Arriving in support is Feeney. He's taken a ground. Quality tackle there from Bachman.
Yeah, nice to see Ainsworth working back there to help out his teammates. Again, one of those times where the ball fortunately fell into his lap, and a nice clearing kick as well.
Well, it's good the West Coast aren't dropping a man back at this stage. They're playing one-on-one, and there's no better lessons to be learnt on that occasion. He's Fremantle with another chance here. Bachman to Bokhorst. Floating kick inside forward 50. Good little fist there from Carey, taking it away from Jansen, who looks to be playing at full forward now.
Just taking a look back through Jonathan Marsh's waffle history, never kicked more than 2 in a game, in fact. So this 5 is far beyond his career high.
I don't think we're going to stop just yet. Throw in right half forward for the Sharks. Stranatica, back tap. Leggett can't handle it. Ainsworth Hanson, Rebillard. This is good run from West Coast. O'Neill ducks back inside with a bounce. Back to Hanson. A little bit unsure as to what the next option is. Another bounce is the answer. Handball inside. Here's Sinclair. Lowers the eyes, and that's the best passage of play we've seen from the Coasters for the entire game, I reckon.
It's always pleasing when you see that, and sometimes it's a little bit frustrating that is the standard that they can make. It's just a little bit about doing it a little bit more frequently.
This is Chris Pornish in his league debut.
We saw Archie get a goal on debut. Is Pornish going to follow in his footsteps?
Playing at the Wembley Amateurs prior to this matchup. He's going to strike it from about 45 out. Gives it a good ride. It's hooking and it's slammed into the post. Not to be on this occasion. 1 goal, 1 West Coast, 7 points. Trailing East Fremantle, 11 goals, 571. Been a dominant display from the Sharks, and we look forward to giving you a bit more information as we return from this break, courtesy of Hungry Jacks.
Whopper your way. Choose single, double or triple and try the new Whiskey River Whopper with smoky barbecue sauce and angry onions. Whopper your way, your taste, your size. The burgers are better at Hungry Jacks.
Guys, this weekend we're serving Carlton Dry at all the waffle clubs, and what a great opportunity for you all to go to the bar, grab a pint of Carlton Dry, and that money will then be used to fund the Lord Mayor's relief appeal for those who are badly impacted by the bushfires. I know footy in general got impacted last year, as did businesses and sport in general by COVID. So we think we're struggling a bit, no more so than the bushfire people, those affected by that. So local pub, local waffle club, first round of waffle footy, get down to the bar, Carlton Dry, pint of, enjoy it, but also know that enjoying that pint, the money you've tipped over the bar is going to a very worthy cause. I think West Australians, as we all know, are so renowned for their ability to raise money through whether it's telethon and those numerous number of fundraising calls we get. It could be bi-monthly, there's something. But I think we are most generous when it becomes someone who might be in your family, friends, mum and dad, your mate who's had some damage caused by the bushfires, work within the fire brigade, those that are directly impacted by those bushfires. This little promotion by CUB, Carlton Dry, $10 out of your pocket, money so well spent.
Family time's more fun when you keep it simple. Take a break with Hungry Jack's new feast bundle. Get 2 tender crisp chicken burgers, 2 Whoppers, 2 cheeseburgers, 18 nuggets, 4 small chips and 4 drinks for $34.95. Only at Hungry Jack's.
single Aussie, your double Whopper cheese.
And my triple whiskey river.
Whopper your way. Choose single, double or triple and try the new Whiskey River Whopper with smoky barbecue sauce and angry onions. Whopper your way, your taste, your size. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
I think moving from rugby to football has been challenging, but I don't consider myself as a rugby player anymore. I consider myself as a footy player. I've invested so much of my life to football and I've sacrificed a lot. Growing up in New Zealand was amazing. I come from a very, very big family. There's actually 9 of us all together. I spent a lot of time playing sport growing up. I had brothers that played rugby, so I guess I watched them and I was inspired by them. I had a bit of interest from the Australian coaches in my first year, and at the time I wasn't eligible to play for Australia, so you had to live in Australia for 3 consecutive years before you could actually represent Australia.
She has caught them napping. Brilliant individual try by Mika Carter, and she has got a double.
Representing the country that you live in, there's nothing like it. It wasn't just, the achievement, it was more or less like the hardship that I'd been through to get there. I got a contract in Japan. It was an amazing opportunity that I really wanted to push for, but I ended up turning that opportunity down for Wallaroos. But meanwhile, I actually had a video made for that club. It had all my stats and it had, I guess, my highlights of my rugby career, and they seen it and wanted to sign me straight away, which was great. That video that I had made for that club was discovered from Adam Selwood and Luke Dwyer. I remember him saying, Meeks, you've got what it takes. Like, I've watched you play and you could do it. I just remember this so clearly. He sits me down with LD at this table. They sit me down for 2 hours. They interview me. My life was changed.
Well, Mika Carter, when she first came to the footy club, she's a cross-coder. She had to learn the game, learn how to kick the footy, and coming from a long way back. With her hard work and determination, she's going to be rewarded with her debut for the Eagles.
She's been on a journey of maybe a bit of self-doubt, maybe some external noise, but she's continued to step forward. When we look at football and life, it's about opportunities, it's about resilience, it's about putting your best foot forward all the time. And I'm so proud now to be able to stand here and say, Mika, you're playing.
When they called up my name, it was just a very, very, very amazing experience getting that jersey for the first time. It was like a sign of relief knowing that making the transition was worth it. The camaraderie in the club and I guess the relationships that I've built with the girls has been like phenomenal for me. Being in multiple sports, being in different environments at an elite level, I've never experienced a group of girls that I get to pretty much live half my life with. We're all stained, I guess, by the culture. So outside of footy, this is like my life. Obviously, I'm a hairdresser. I've been hairdressing for 15 years. I started when I was 16 years old. This is my life. I'm here 24/7. I love my job. This is my second passion. The heartbeat of Vessel is to love and serve our clients. My husband being a part of the business is another incredible opportunity for him and for us to work together. It's been an emotional last week, realising that I've got a stress fracture in my foot, but I think this is going to fuel something in my footy career that's only going to propel me forward, and I'm looking forward to the development of my game that I can do while I'm in the place that I'm in at the moment. But I'll become a better footy player by just spending that little bit of time away from the group and recovering and working on myself, working on my strength, working on my kicking once I'm allowed to do that. But yeah, this is just a part of the journey.
This Whopper has no beef.
No beef!
Introducing the Rebel Whopper with a patty made from plants.
I've never had plant that tastes like meat before.
Tastes just like a Whopper.
It tastes exactly like a Whopper.
New Rebel Whopper, 100% Whopper, 0% beef. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Hey guys, Lendy's back with a Kick for Cash competition, but this time it's different. We want to see you.
Beautiful, just what we need. More Nick on TV.
Yeah, great. And out of all blokes, they've got him running a kicking comp.
Kicking, please.
Yeah, they must have lost the big fella's number.
Yours?
Yeah, obviously mine. I'm the big fella.
You think you're the best kick in the team?
Mate, 2018, Port Adelaide after the siren, clutch.
Jeremy McGavin has kicked the goal for the Eagles.
Flower bag.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Anyone kick a drop punt straight. Try kicking a flower bag straight.
Try doing it in extra time, in a final, after the siren.
He's kicked the goal. The Eagles have won.
Not bad. Free kick was definitely there, though.
Irrelevant.
We won the game. I'll give it to you.
Oi! GWS, last 10 seconds. On the left, too easy.
And Louis, he gets the kick. Oh, my goodness.
North Melbourne, after the siren.
And he's put it through. Eagles win.
Mate, that was 9 years ago. And are you shooting another commercial?
Yeah, I'm covering for you two. You both said you were busy today.
Yeah, we are, mate, yeah.
Flat out, Nick.
I've probably still got you on the kicking, though, I reckon.
Righto, big fella. Let's go.
The 2021 Backyard Kick for Cash champion will take home a whopping $25,000 thanks to Lendy. Submit your trick shot video, and if you're the round winner, you'll take home $1,000, tickets to the game, and your video will be featured on the mega screens at Optus Stadium. It doesn't matter whether it's in your backyard, kitchen, or living room, or even at your local park. Get out there and start planning your Lendy Backyard Kick for Cash. Head to the West Coast Eagles app or westcoasteagles.com.au/backyard kick for cash and simply upload your video. T's and C's apply, and winners will be notified before each home game.
All right, single Aussie, your double whopper cheese.
And my triple whiskey river.
Whopper your way. Choose single, double or triple and try the new Whiskey River Whopper with smoky barbecue sauce and angry onions. Whopper your way, your taste, your size. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Yeah, so we've got the reigning champ Blue with us today, and new to the stable Ziggy, so it's her first run today. So we've got two entrants, which will be exciting. I think Blue, he's another good shot.
I got Bobby. He's no chance. He's got a bit of put on him at the moment. He likes chasing the ball, so I'll throw a ball and see what happens. He's looking a bit like Gov at the moment, so he's no chance.
I've got Barney here. He's a German Shepherd. He's 4. He didn't go too well last year, but he's been doing a bit of training, so it should be right.
Dolce, I think. Dom's dog, yeah. Little French Bulldog might struggle, so yeah, I think she's got her work cut out for her, I think.
Probably Camo, Joe Cameron. His dog's probably going to get bogged in the sand. It ain't too pretty.
I think Simo does.
Simo.
But I think he's bringing a pretty little average-looking dog, so I don't think he's going to win it this year.
How are you feeling? How's the emotion?
Oh, mate, running high. I'm surprised. Running high for a dog win. I was trying to play it low key. So when he come through, I thought, man, it's a fairy story with Simo giving the dog away. You do a good deed, it comes back to you, mate.
Well, I might cross into breeding dogs now for this race. You know, being part of the winning team still pretty special. You know, we've really missed interaction with each other on a social level. It's been a really difficult 12 months for everyone, as we all know. So keeping these things going is really important, you know, just to have a bit of break in routine, and we all love our dogs.
All right, single Aussie, your double whopper cheese.
And my triple whiskey river.
Whopper your way. Choose single, double or triple and try the new Whiskey River Whopper with smoky barbecue sauce and angry onions. Whopper your way, your taste, your size. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Guys, this week...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this afternoon's live stream from the West Coast Eagles waffle match against East Fremantle, courtesy of Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better. East Fremantle have just taken the ground here as West Coast continue their warm-up exercises heading into a third quarter. And if you're just joining us, not exactly the closest game of waffle footy we've seen in our time. Cameron Palmer, why don't you run us through some of the major stat winners as we break for our halftime proceedings?
Well, I think if you went off the first minute, if you tuned in late and came in for the first minute and then came in for the last 30 seconds, you'd think, well,
We're 7
West
points
Coast
up.
Eagles are doing okay. They're 1-1. It was just a minimal 58 minutes that were a bit of an issue. But at half-time, as we say, it is East Fremantle 11 goals, 5 to the West Coast Eagles, 1 goal, 1. In terms of team stats, East Fremantle 229 disposals to West Coast 119. Marks 61 to 29. As we've said a few times, a number of those marks coming inside 50 for East Fremantle. Hitouts 31 to 14. Stranatica did get on top in that second quarter. And inside 50s 30 to 8. It does give an indication of the dominance. And probably one thing, if you look at the Eagles breakdown, 59 kicks to 60 handballs. A number of their possessions are coming under pressure. Individually, Blaine Boykhorst, we had a career low last week, only disposals. Just taking a look at some of the highlights. Max Murphy with a nice mark. Callum Jamison, a good mark. He's battled manfully.
Oh, I like that grab from Fitzgerald coming from behind there.
Yeah, he's had a tough opening against Jonathan Marsh. Good mark there from Jared Cameron. And this was a good little bit of play here from East Fremantle. A brilliant pass from Lester Smith to find Jonathan Marsh. One of his 5 first half goals.
Archie, brilliant work there in his league debut. Brother of Brendan, of course. It was awesome seeing him slot his first goal in league footy. It's part of his debut, and again, it was just a Marsh show in that half, really. Too strong for McGee on that occasion.
He's got the bulk, and the Chance Flint was very good for West Coast. He had some good moments. And there is Archie with his first league goal on debut. They got around him, really excited. Good to see a young man, still quite young, 25, a late debut these days. Just to go through those individual ball winners, Boykhorst 21. He only had 8 last week. He's had 21 in the first half. English and Schoenfield both missed last week. They've had 17 each. For West Coast, 15 to O'Neill and a goal. Ainsworth 13, Johnson 12, and True 9. 9 tackles to Schoenfield, 6 to O'Neill. And in the ruck, Stranatica has had 29 hitouts. He does average 38. Not that I want to preempt anything, but if you have a look at East Fremantle, statistically average 72 points a game. 31 of them come in the third quarter. So the third quarter is their big quarter.
Damning statistic, that one, Cameron, as we're underway here in the third term. Courtesy of Hungry Jacks. Ball in the middle, Jansen taken well on the tackle. Stranatica feeds the handball. Good collect there from Davies on the right foot. Comma turns his opponent inside out. English, chain of handballs from East Fremantle. Bockman, the final leg of the chain, looking for Marsh. Good spoil on that occasion from Carey. Dixon's going to get another crack at it. On the left foot, no good.
Just quickly around the grounds, I know we always have a few Swan District supporters that tune in. They are leading out at Provident Financial Oval against West Perth, 33 to 9. Shout out to Tony Knott playing his 250th game, only the 36th player in waffle history to get to 250 games, Steve.
Fantastic achievement from the ex-Eagle. Tremendous fella too. Good on him. Fitzgerald back to Johnson. Ignores Marlin. Still handball to Sinclair. Back to Johnson for his third disposal on the chain. Great pick up there from Brayshaw. On the left, Archie cuts it off though. And he's off. Good tackle from Brayshaw, and he's rectified his error. That's holding the ball.
Yeah, good follow-up from Brayshaw. Would have liked to have the kick over. Best way to do it. Go and make a heavy tackle and achieve. That's the difference of going to league level. You just don't get quite the same amount of time.
Brayshaw pumps it long over the back. Sears collected from Davies. Just gets the handball out, but jumps there to collect. And Archie, a little dinky pass down the line. It's going to work for Boykhorst. Has Bennett on the inside. Moves it quickly. Mead sends it inside 50. Fitzgerald cuts it off nicely in front of Burton.
Yeah, really good intercept mark there from Fitzgerald.
McGee Pulls the trigger into the inside. Kick is wayward. It's all Sharks. Boakhorst again, another disposal. Mead will have a second crack at his inside 50 entry. Dixon in good position. Even better spoil from McGee. Look at him stand up in the tackle, and that is just absolute strength there from Hugh Dixon. And East Fremantle the first of this third term.
Just to go around the grounds quickly, the other three waffle games going on. Subiaco look like they're going to inflict Claremont with their first loss of the season. It's Subiaco 61-12. Peel had the big first quarter, 8 goals. They still lead Perth by 33 points, 69-36. And you wouldn't have expected this, but the close one is actually at Fremantle Oval, where South Fremantle lead East Perth by just 10 points. East Perth, like the West Coast Eagles, waffle winless so far, but they're taking it right up to the reigning premiers.
And West Coast, I believe, face them next week, Cameron, so strap yourselves in.
There was actually a state bye next week, Steve, but the week after.
Excellent, we've got the week off. Lovely news. Hugh Dixon, Tassie boy, collects his first of the afternoon.
Just again, it's just where the West Coast Eagles waffle have been lacking. Just a big body down there, you know, a Tommy Barras, Jeremy McGovern, Shannon Hearn, they'd go pretty handy back down there, wouldn't they?
Well, the last time I was at this ground, I think Tom Barras was playing. It was Nick Nat's return to football. The last time I was here. Stranatica lowers the eyes, pass through Bockman's hands, gets a second crack, pass into the pocket, Marsh on his knees, sliding, takes another mark inside forward 50, and he'll line up for number 6.
Yeah, not a lot you can do in that one. The weight of supply from the East Fremantle midfield is just having too much of an impact. Also worth pointing out, Joey Deegan, unfortunately, on crutches at half-time, so another rotation, unfortunately, down.
No, he was spending a bit of time in the midfield for the West Coast Eagles, so certainly showing a bit was Joey Deegan.
One of the tougher shots that Marsh has had.
Jonathan Marsh misses to the near side. 5 goals, 3, I believe, he's kicked for the afternoon.
He's up to 5 goals, 3 indeed. As we said, going into today, his best in a waffle game was just 2 goals. So he's having some sort of day so far is Jonathan Marsh.
He's absolutely shattered that.
Johnson giving a little bit of the hand signal there. He's been on kicking out duties all day today for the Eagles waffle.
Spearing ball to McGee. Dabs it over the top. Marlin. West Coast opting for the methodical ball movement outside defensive 50. Now no other choice but to pump it long down the line. Jamison from behind, but in front, Stranatica. Too big and too strong on that occasion.
He's done that a couple of times around the ground. His positioning is really good, and he's making it hard for the Eagles trying to get outside of their back 50.
What a pass from Boakhorst. Finds Marsh, dabs it over the top. Dixon on the lead. Good spoil from Carey. Marlin roves it well. Johnson. They're retreating territory, West Coast, but they still have it. Tough slip to ground. Good defensive pressure from the Sharks. Bockman locks it in. Jansen kicks it back. Marsh. He's smothered. Ainsworth. O'Neill collects it well. Marlin, good tackle there from Archie. No reward. In the end, McGee just jumps over the boundary line like a rugby try.
We said it a few times today, only the 6 Eagles playing in today's game. True, Ainsworth, O'Neill getting a bit of it in the middle. Ben Johnson down back. The one who's had it pretty tough is Jared Cameron. Ball hasn't been down there a lot. Not the day for the forwards, unfortunately.
True, collects it well at the back of the pack. Goes long down the line. Good grab there from Jupp. Takes it almost uncontested in the end. Back to Baskerville. Eardley at centre-half back. He's got Lester Smith on for the switch. Good ground made up from Sinclair. Tremendous stuff. He can get it onto the boot. Hanson's lurking. Even better tackle on that occasion from Swan District's player and Lester Smith. Stops a certain shot on goal for the West Coast Eagles. Feeney wraps up Murphy and his handball trickles out of play.
Good chain of play there from the West Coast Eagle waffle. We have seen it fleetingly, but it has happened occasionally where they have been able to get the ball in space. They've looked okay. Good play, though, by Lester Smith to halt that forward 50 entry for the West Coast Eagles waffle.
Host of players around this throw in. Left half forward for West Coast. Schoenfeld. He's dispossessed. True takes it. Low snap. Bounces well. for the Eagles. Here's a chance now. O'Neill for his second goal and only goal scorer for West Coast. He's put a bit of hook on that one. Misses to the near side.
Dare I say, maybe needed the left just to sort of slide it from the left, work it around. He's got 7 of the Eagles' 8 points for the day. Of course, if you are wondering, is Chris Pornich on debut that does have the other point. Hit the post on the stroke of half-time.
Erdley's kick out a little bit scruffy on that occasion, and O'Neill earns himself a free kick from the high tackle from English.
Chance to add to his team-leading scoring here, Steve.
This will be the most difficult shot of his 3.
Again, the breeze is still wafting across the ground, so if he can just set it up, let the breeze do the work.
He's out of sight here on our telecast, but he's going to strike it from about 45 out on a 45-degree angle.
Comes out from behind the grandstand.
Gives it a good crack, but just always skinny on that occasion.
Again, a couple of good minutes here for the West Coast Eagles, Waffle. We've said it throughout the game. You can't fault the endeavour. It's just been probably lacking a few soldiers throughout the day. And East Fremantle, got to give them credit. They've been pretty clinical in the way they've moved the ball.
2 scoring shots apiece to open up the third term. Erdley takes a great contested grab, looking for Schoenfeld, but I don't know if he was ready for it. Flint hit the contest hard. Schoenfeld again at the bottom of the pack. Dinky little kick on that occasion from the West Coast Eagles player in Sears, making his league debut. Short pass, Schoenfeld again. Looking for Murphy with a bit of outside run.
Liked his game so far. He's worked up the ground here in the third quarter. He had an impact inside 50 early, and seems like a player that can move all over the ground is Max Murphy. One of the things you do notice with Bill Monahan coach teams is the way that they do set up their defensive zone, and you've seen it a couple of times. They've really been able to zone nicely and always have an extra man coming across to the contest. Made it really hard for the Eagles. You look at the back now, there's probably 3 of the back 4 blue and white defenders.
Throw up, far side of the ground. O'Neill working hard. Here's True, trying to bust through some tackles. In the end, it's East Freo who emerges. Jansen, he's run down, just gets the handball away. So too does Comma. But standing in the road, Feeney. He misses his target. Ainsworth there to mop up. Sears down the line. Hansen against Jupp. Ball trickles out the back, and boundary line a win for East Fremantle.
Good couple of minutes for Sears as well, just working himself into the contest. One of the debutants today. We said it with Jacob, our chief for East Fremantle. Just picking up to the league pace can take a bit of time, and Sears is working his way into the game.
Yes, Ty Sears, Jack Wilson making their league debuts along with Pornich. English emerges from the contest. A high ball to half forward. Good spore from behind by Carey. Schoenfeld can't handle it. Flint there. Schoenfeld again on the second occasion. Jamison wraps him up. Good tackle. Umpire said you had a chance. Holding the ball.
Yeah, another good effort from Jamison. You've got to like the way that he's attacked around the ground, and he's getting a good lesson in waffle ruck work from Stranatica, who does lead the league in hit-outs.
Umpire said touch, play on. Why the mark was not paid. In the end, we'll have another stoppage far side.
Look like Chaz Flint at the bottom of the pack. He's done a few good things as well for the West Coast Eagles. Waffle being one of the best.
Stranatica looking for Jansen with this tap. Ainsworth wearing him closely. Schoenfeld been a beast in these contested ball scenarios. The clearing kick will come back. The ball went over the boundary line.
Just looking backwards, 55 seconds into the game where that first goal came from Xavier O'Neill. We're now 11 minutes into the third quarter on the West Coast Eagles Waffle live stream, brought to you by Hungry Jacks. It's been a fair old drought between goals.
The breeze really going across the ground to the outer side at this point, so not really favouring any team in particular. Jamison's high ball goes out on the full. Maguire wants to switch the play. Baskerville ducks back inside. Short little poke. Mead. This is very delicate here from East Fremantle. Stranatica has Tucker on the outer side. Plays on quickly. Handball's untidy for Bokhorst. West Coast sweating him. Good tackle laid by Sinclair. O'Neill there to provide support.
See what East Fremantle have tried to do on a couple of occasions, just sort of work the switch, nice clean ball movement, play on at all costs though.
Very tough battle for Jamison today up against Trinatica. Holding his own for the time being with these hit-outs. Mead emerges on this occasion. Good contest there from Ben Johnson from the West Coast Eagles. Ball trickles out. Burton's claim quickly. Jansen attempts the don't argue. Handball over the top. This is English. Can he find a target inside forward 50? He does. Archie takes it just inside the arc. Wants to move it on. Schoenfeld can't take it cleanly. Lester Smith there at the foot of the contest. Long snapping ball to the pocket. Marsh can't take his 20th contested mark of the day. At ground level, Murphy has a crack. Snaps on goal. Drifts well across the face. Out on the full.
Just tiptoed the boundary line over on this side. They're just keen to keep the ball going at all costs. You can see East Fremantle, albeit they only kicked the 1 goal in this quarter, they've got a lot of confidence right now. I think they're trying to make the most of a pretty good day at the office.
Ainsworth doing a little dancing at back pocket. Like the look of that. Pulls the trigger. Schoenfeld read it best in front of True.
Look good. Execution, not so much, unfortunately, for young Ainsworth.
Dabs it to the pocket. Goes over the pack. Clearing kick from Carey. It's all East Fremantle. And Lester Smith takes an easy mark.
Yeah, like the game of Carey, he's battled strongly back there. Lester Smith with a chance to kick a goal from probably kicking right on the paint of 50.
Son of Premiership player and club legend Neil. He is a very good kick. In his 104th game of Waffle League footy. He's hooked this one on. It's going to give his forwards a chance. Pack flies. No one down there. Carey releases and Flint able to relieve the pressure. Oh, tremendous pick up there from Sears. Handballs to no one in particular. Borgogno there to provide support. And a good win there for West Coast. Gained some much needed territory.
Yeah, good again from Sears. That's the second or third time playing out on that outer side. He's certainly got himself involved in the game. So a good effort there from Sears. The margin is out to 70 points though on the scoreboard there. 12-7 to 1-3.
Just a 1-goal difference in this third term in favour of East Fremantle. So West Coast just holding ground for the time being. Davies at the bottom of that pack. Umpire says he has little chance to get rid of it.
And if you are looking for small wins, it's been over 10 minutes since the last East Fremantle score. They had the behind kick by Marsh about 4 minutes in. We're now 15 minutes in, so nearly 11 minutes of scoreless footy by the Eagles' defence.
Sinclair, sliding on the knees, takes the chest mark. Wants to move it quickly. Good pass there to Hanson. Takes it on his chest. At 80 metres out. Short little kick. Ainsworth. Handball. Borgogno. Critical kick inside 50. Rebillard's got the sit. Oh, almost hung on to it. Almost clutched it to his knee for a mark and what would have been a certain goal for West Coast, but couldn't complete the task.
Not the contested mark specialist, but had a chance there for a moment. Good kick from Borgogno. He's kicked that from outside 50. Fell just into the line.
East Fremantle working it down the broadcast side. Stranatica. Hemmed in. High ball down the line. Marsh. Fitzgerald tried to take front position. Ball bouncing corridor way. Flint, good tackle there from Archie. Marsh pounces. Bennett, open forward 50. That pass is quality. Murphy takes the mark.
Chaz Flint down behind the ball as well, unfortunately for the Eagles waffle.
Just dabs it over the top. And Tim Bockman takes an easy mark inside forward 50 for the Sharks. And Chaz Flint going to try and walk it off for the time being and jog back to the contest.
So Tim Bockman's trying to find himself as a regular player in the East Fremantle side. He's played 19 games over 4 seasons. He kicked 2 goals back in round 3, lining up for his first goal of today, Steve.
Can play anywhere, I'm told. Very high-end talent is Tim Bockman. On the left, approaches. That is a quality finish from the youngster. And another goal for East Fremantle, their second of the term. And this lead begins to look a little unhealthy.
Out to a match high, 75 points. And sadly for the West Coast Eagles waffle, that is 13 on the bounce. just snuck that one inside the left-hand goalpost there. The West Coast Eagles waffle stream brought to you by Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better, Steve.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Cameron, but we've got Marsh with 5 goals, and then the rest for East Freo are all individual goal kickers.
That is 100% correct.
So we've got Max Murphy, Davies, Stranatica, Jansen, Bockman, Dixon, and Jacob Archie, brother of.
Yeah, and if you look at the possession winners at the moment, Bokhorst up to 26, Scowenfield 21, English 20 lead the way. Xavier O'Neill leads the Eagles with 20 and 1 goal too. He has 8 of the 10 points that the Eagles have for today. Jamison up to 7 tackles, by the way. That is a career high.
He's having a spell in the ruck on this occasion, though. It's Borgogno in the middle. Ainsworth, high ball, Sears. Handball inside to O'Neill. Marlin provides a bit of support off half-back. Kick to the feet of Robiliard, sets him a task. Well tackled from Bokhorst. Stranatica trying to rip it out of there. In the end, we'll have a ball up inside the centre square.
All about opportunity and growth down here for the West Coast Eagles waffle. And interestingly, Sears, with those couple of those midfield injuries, he seems to have gone up onto a wing. And as we say, he's having an impact, young Ty Sears.
It was always going to be a tough order for this West Coast midfield, up against some seasoned veterans and some big bodies. Losing Deegan in the first quarter certainly hurting their rotations also. Here's a chance. A big thumping check side ball to the top of the goal square, running back. Oh, geez, he's dropped the mark. And a chance for West Coast. Have taken it with both hands. Wilson for his first Waffle League goal.
And they boys do get around him. Always nice to see. We saw Archie in the second quarter kick a league goal on debut. And the same thing for Wilson here. His first kick of the day as well, if we can call it a kick. The toe poke. The first toe poke of his career gets the 6 points.
Stiff there from Matty Jupp, the skipper. It was a very high ball to mark and obviously just couldn't complete the job.
Yeah, Wilson recruited from the Northern Territory. He also comes via Shepparton. I believe had 8 games with the Tiwi Bombers in the 2021 off-season. Comes highly regarded. And, well, his first Waffle League kick, he will remember that. It's a goal. And after a long, lengthy pause, the West Coast Eagles Waffle have a second.
I dare say the directive from coach Daniel Pratt was to win the quarter, and they're trailing by 5 points thus far in the third. So certainly putting their best foot forward to restart in this second half.
As I did mention, the East Fremantle were averaging 31 points in the third quarter, so they've held them to 14 so far, so beating the East Fremantle average as well.
Humble having a crack in there for West Coast. Tackles Bennett. Handball over the top. Burton to Comma. Well shared. Dixon. Will he have a pot shot from outside 50? None of it spinning forward. Good luck to McGee corralling that one. And in the end, sees it over the boundary line.
Not the best forward 50 entry that we've seen from Dixon, but he's had a pretty good quarter as well. Marsh has gone out of the game slightly, but Dixon has been the one that's probably looked the most dangerous in this third quarter for East Fremantle.
Throw in left forward pocket for the Sharks. Jamison back into the ruck against Jansen on that occasion. Ainsworth there to provide the tackle. West Coast need to hold firm here inside East Freo's forward 50.
Good follow-up again from Ainsworth, trying to have an impact on the inside.
Good tackle there from Archie, along with a couple of Sharks teammates.
I think McGee at the bottom of the pack there for the Eagles. It's been a tough day for him and a number of the Eagles.
His
defenders.
5 mates, I'd imagine, Cameron. Jamison's hit out going directly to the line. Humble can't keep it in. As we see True attempting to come on the ground. Can't really get an Eagle to leave the forward 50 at the moment. He's stuck on the boundary line. Is Zane True. Umpire throws it in. Jansen tries to take it out of the ruck. Feed to Marsh. Handball. A little bit too hot to handle for Sinclair. Archie. Davies. Ball trickles inside forward 50. The kick from Bockman is not going to count. The umpire said it travelled over the boundary line as Xavier O'Neill starts heading towards the line and brings Zane True on the park.
Like the active hands there from our boy Jacob Archie for East Fremantle. A nice little tap out. Obviously ended up out of bounds, but you could just see a little bit of creativity there from Archie.
Boundary umpire tosses it in. Easy hit out there from Dixon. Brayshaw overruns it. A chance for Bennett. Hoiks it round, top of the goal square. Ball a little bit too long for Murphy. Fitzgerald wearing him. Good tackle there from Sears. It's better defence from West Coast. We'll have a ball up.
Just a little bit overcooked on the kick coming in. You could see what they were trying to do, get it to that hot spot. They've had some success doing that with Jonathan Marsh, but yeah, been very quiet in this quarter, Marsh.
Jansen, not a bad leap against Jamison. English goes off the side of the boot, top of the goal square. Marlin flies. Ball hits the deck. Umpire's paid a kick, but it's going the way of the Eagles.
Looks like it'll go the way of Jack Carey, who we've said a couple of times has been pretty good back there, battled manfully in a defence that's been under siege at times.
Hands to Johnson, quality ball user, goes over his intended target, and pretty quality tackle there from, or who is that? That's Tucker. Forces it over the line.
And Wilson remains with just the one kick for one goal, so keeping that 100% record in play, Steve.
Jared Cameron coming on the park for the West Coast Eagles. Borgogno wins the hit out, but it's all Bokhorst in the sweeping position. To English. Maguire. They've shared it well so far, the Sharks. Bennett back inside to English. Low ball. Good defence from Carey. On Bachman. Somehow still gets rid of it. Even better smother on the second occasion there, Carey. A couple of good defensive efforts there. His teammates let him know.
You have a look, the handball numbers, West Coast almost going 1-to-1, 89 kicks to 86 handballs. East Fremantle have had 146, but it just feels like their handballs are setting up play. It feels like the Eagles' handballs are under pressure, trying to get it to a teammate, whereas you can see East Fremantle really are setting the ball up well with hand from behind.
The seas parted for Bokhorst, steps inside. Sears goes long from outside 50. Marsh one out with McGee. Almost takes it through the breadbasket. A chance at ground level. Bachman's kicks a little grubber. Too many players in the way. West Coast well and truly under the pump to get this ball out. Comma taps it forward. Bachman, Silky, Davies on the left. Has a ping. Floats across the face. And it's out on the full.
Davies has been good, but the finishing's probably in front of goals been the one let down today.
East Fremantle certainly controlling the last 5 minutes here, but unable to convert. McGee in the right back pocket to Carey.
Johnson up to 19 possessions for the West Coast Eagles waffle as well.
Thumping ball to the far wing. Jamison flies. Dixon stays down, receives. Tucker to Jansen. Low ball inside 50, just out of the reach of English. Bachman has a crack. Comma steps inside. Handballs to Murphy. Will have a ping. About 45 out. That's a pretty decent effort. What a goal there from East Fremantle. And that is the third from the third term.
Second goal for Max Murphy. He's had a pretty good impact, and in fact, just taking a look through, first time he's ever kicked 2 goals in a game. So multiple goals for Max Murphy. Nice finish there, setting it up on the breeze and just drifting it back through.
He's really making the most of his opportunities after 3 goals in round 3 with the reserves. So certainly holding his own out here at present time. Ainsworth's coming off the park and seems to be reaching for his groin or adductor. Just a bit of soreness there. Let's hope nothing more.
Humble into the middle now for the West Coast Eagles waffles. So you've got Jamison, O'Neill, True and Humble. So again, opportunity presents without Deegan in that rotation. Let's see what Humble can do.
Stranatica would have some high hopes on a mid-season draft with depleted AFL ruck lists. Certainly putting his best foot forward in season 2021. Jansen back feed, Schoenfeld looking for Burton. Good defence there from Feeney, but Burton at ground level follows up really well. English spots something in the pocket he likes. It's Dixon. Carey not far behind. Bachman, he's a left footer and he wants it. McGee knew that. Handball over the top and Carey just puts that fire out and slaps it over the line.
You mentioned Stranatica. We've said it a couple of times. 30-80 averages a game. He's just had his 37th hit out. Still got a quarter to go.
Feel like the ball has just lived on that far side flank for East Fremantle for this quarter. Jamison takes possession. Well done. True's kick is smothered by Jansen. Humble overruns it. Carey just hoiks it out of there. Someone else's problem. Well taken from Tucker. Eardley on the inside is ignored. Wants the longer option. To the pocket. Good work from Carey. Archie was there at ground level. Handball to no one in particular. Marlon does well to mop up, and Sears to a 2-on-1, and that's pretty stiff. Borgogno's tried to handle it like a bit of a FIFA soccer player. It's gone out in the full.
Don't see that one every day, but he put his hands up on the mark, and East Fremantle are going to go inside 50 again.
You wouldn't think long remaining in this quarter. Just the 4 goals kicked overall.
Archie, the heavy tackle, he's had an impact in this third quarter, Jacob Archie.
True, finds O'Neill. Oh, tremendous tackle there from Leggett. Put a stop to that Eagles ball movement on the far side. Tucker thought about, Sears thought about playing on, thought better of it.
He's been a little bit quiet, Cody Leggett. He's only had the 12 possessions. Interestingly, would normally kick the balls 80% of the time. 5 kicks to 7 handballs today. Very rare to see him handball more than kick.
Well judged mark there from Eardley in front of Brayshaw. East Fremantle will reload once more. Jansen has an option on right half forward. It's Comma. The kick was a little untidy, but he makes it work. Murphy on the outside. Ignores him. Goes inside. Baskerville. Kick to the pocket. It's well weighted. Just put it in front of the space of Dixon. And not a lot Marlon can do on that occasion. Good footy East Fremantle.
What I like as well, they've done this a few times where they're setting players up in good positions for their kicking style. So Dixon, a left footer, he's just going to be able to come up, work the angle. Should be a fairly straightforward kick on goal. Just in front of us here, Coach Daniel Pratt alongside assistant coach Kyle Horsley and Michael Pryor have just come down to the boundary. So, as you say, suggested would not be long left in the third quarter in the shadows of three-quarter time. Dixon having a shot for his second.
Hugh Dixon, the former Docker, he's put it through, just slid inside the left upright. And East Fremantle certainly flexing here in the third quarter. That's their 4th of the term. That was just a good passage of play leading up to that one.
Yeah, Dixon's kicked 2 of those 4 goals as well. Just a nice finish. He knew it as soon as he kicked it, it was going to slide in. He's up to 16 possessions, and the 2 goals, the 3 hit-outs as well, doing that little bit of ruck work in the forward half for the East Fremantle.
He actually lives with teammate O'Reilly. Was involved in a bit of a car bingle this week. Was Hugh Dixon. Good to see he's all right.
Hasn't been a good week for that household then, because Dylan O'Reilly, of course, was concussed in last week's game. He's sitting out the mandatory 12-day period at the moment. So a tough day in the O'Reilly-Dixon household.
Well, a couple of goals this afternoon will certainly right the ship for him then. Ball back into the middle. Jamison gets a good run at it. In fact, takes it cleanly. Kick goes nowhere, though. Schoenfield handles it best. Bounce over the top of Comma. Bachman reads it well. Great smother on that occasion from McGee. East Fremantle still with possession, though. Davies to Bachman. Kick to Bennett. Just stays. I reckon it was out, but it doesn't matter because Humble's come along. Great smother there.
When you look at the scoreboard, it's an 81-point margin. It's rare to see teams that are still showing that spirit. I mean, that's 2 really good smothers. And again, we said it a few times, you can't fault the endeavour. It's probably just a little bit of that class that's lacking at the moment for that West Coast Eagles waffle team.
There's your siren to end the third term. And it's all East Fremantle here at New Choice Homes Park. A comfortable lead, and we look forward to having your company after the three-quarter time break. Courtesy of Hungry Jacks, this is the West Coast Eagles live stream. Waffle Footy, round 7. Back shortly. Welcome back to East Fremantle Oval as we reach three-quarter time. Here with the West Coast Eagles up against the Sharks. This West Coast Eagles stream courtesy of Hungry Jacks, where the burgers are better. Cameron Palmer by my side with special comments duties today. Run us through the major ball winners in the final break.
Yeah, so Blaine Beaucourt started strongly, has continued on. He's leading the way with 29. Luke English for East Fremantle, 27 and a goal. Jared Jansen, 25 and a goal. For the West Coast Eagles, Xavier O'Neill has had 24 and kicked a goal. Ben Johnson has had 20. Braden Ainsworth, 17. So the three young guns of the West Coast Eagles waffle side at the moment have done well. Leonard Marlin, a good quarter. He's up to 14. And Zane True has had 12. Josh Gowenfield, 11 tackles. Xavier O'Neill is leading the Eagles with 8. And in the ruck, Luke Stranatic are up to 38 hit-outs, while Callum Jamison has had 16 hit-outs and 7 tackles to go with his 7 disposals. If you have a look at some of the team stats, probably the biggest indictment on the game has been the inside 50 count, 46-12. So unfortunately, the West Coast Eagle waffle are going to battle towards 20 inside 50s, which will not win you a lot of games of footy.
Under the pump, the back six today.
Again, I think we've mentioned a few times with the injuries in the West Coast Eagles senior team, Barras, Hearn, McGovern, it does have an impact down here. They've tried hard, but ultimately just haven't quite had the talent to go with a big bulking forward like Jonathan March.
The umpire will restart play. The fourth quarter at New Choice Park home. And the ball trickles out to the outer side. True gives to O'Neill. Kicks it to half forward. Looking for Hansen. Taps it in front of him. Davies picks it off. Beautiful handball on the inside to Leggett. Schoenfeld again. Awesome kick. Maguire finds Murphy.
Been good throughout the day as Max Murphy.
It's a good corridor kick on that occasion. Davies. The switch is on. Baskerville has Lester Smith. Instead has the running Sharp. This time just dabs it over the top. Lester Smith has a Paddock. Oh, beautiful step on the inside against Feeney. Short pass and unattended in the forward pocket is Nick Comer.
Quiet day for Comer, but got a chance to kick a goal here again. Scoring end, scoring pocket, just needs to set this one up as he disappears behind the grandstand on the coverage.
Nick Comer, of course, 22 games with the Essendon Football Club, a former Tiger Colt, an East Perth senior player.
He's had a goal in every game so far.
Strikes it, looking a little bit skinny, and he's not going to add to the total just yet. You would think Daniel Pratt's instruction to the boys would be win the quarter, and already down at this occasion, but plenty of time to go, Cameron.
If you look back a few weeks ago when the West Coast Eagles waffle took on Swan Districts, it was one of the highlights of that day. They did finish really strongly, so probably suggests, like we did at Bassendean, that's the call there.
Fitzgerald, little give back to Johnson, was fumbled, and he's from Fremantle pounce. Force a forward 50 stoppage.
Thought the umpire might have been going to ping Johnson there. It's almost like would have been punishment for the skill error.
Salt in the wound, you think, Cameron? Jamison looking for the back feed. Schoenfeld read it best. Marsh, quiet third term, was on fire in the first half. Eardley, Leggett had the leg, goes back to Eardley, strikes it from just inside 50. What an absolute bomb that was from Cameron Eardley. He enters the scorer's column, his first, and East Fremantle's 16th goal of the afternoon.
So had 32 touches last week. It was a season high. Just drifting up. He's had an important role sort of across that half-back line, just finding himself open, and a nice little setup there, and was able to deliver from deep. Just quickly around the grounds as well, it's tightening up out at Joondalup. Swan Districts hold an 8-point lead over West Perth. Subiaco powering away from Claremont. They lead by 43 points. Perth are making a run at Peel at 79-56 there. Peel still out by 23 points. And South Fremantle have managed to keep their noses in front of East Perth. They hold a 16-point lead, 58-42. That's the around the grounds update for you, Steve.
Work, Cameron. Good to have a close eye on the waffle footy this afternoon. A couple of ripping fixtures on the cards. Jamison does well, wins the hit out. Schoenfeld's had it on a string today. Davies has got better as the game's gone on. Bokhorst, possession count on him shortly, Cameron. Eardley Davies down the line.
That is 30 for Bokhorst.
Stranatica had oodles of space. Goes down the line. Dixon, 2 bites, can't take it. Recovers. Feeney applies the tackle. Just gets the handball away, not pinged. In the end, Archie wraps it up with big Callum Jamison.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. Probably could have been rewarded there, Feeney. It was a pretty good tackle that he did make. Unlucky not to be rewarded.
Jamison looking for the back feed, but it's well read from Burton. Gives it to Dixon. One way, then the other. Hoiks it. Top of the goal square. Marsh up against Carey. Which way's the free kick going? West Coast way.
And just a quick call out, Bokhorst is chasing down 33, a previous career high of 33. He needs 4 more to pass that.
Tag him for the quarter, you reckon?
We'll see how we go. Hopefully there's a few more yellow and blues that can add to their own possession count. Steve?
Borgogno worried out of it. Schoenfeld left it behind. Murphy did well to throw it to Schoenfeld. Umpire saw every bit of it.
Nice little offload, that one. Didn't go unsighted by the umpire, though. Been pretty good display by the umpires throughout. Leonard Marlin's stats just up there on screen at the moment. 13 disposals, 4 marks. He's been a bit of a Mr. Fix-It for this West Coast Eagles waffle side.
Long kick down the line. Jupp feeds. Leggett, sweeping handball. Bokhorst with a little bit of space. Dabs it in the corridor. Good kick. Stranatica, another mark. Kicks to the flank. English is loose. Handball over the top. Davies on his left boot. Kicks, finds Archie in a similar position where he kicked his first in the first half. Going to line up for number 2.
Likes this end of the ground, Jacob Archie. This will be a second league goal, a 25-year-old on debut. We've mentioned his story a few times, but he's definitely had an impact, as you see there. 9 disposals, 5 marks, and lining up for his second goal.
All the West Coast boys, including Brennan, will be watching this, and you'd think would be riding at home for their teammate. He's going to strike it, about 40 out. Gives it a fair crack, but it smashes into the woodwork. A wry smile there from Archie.
Had a couple of posters at either end of the ground. It was Chris Pornich that nearly kicked his first goal at the stroke of half-time.
Sinclair can't handle the kick out. Schoenfeld drives him into the deck. Umpire will have it.
And of course, Jack Wilson is another one who's had a goal on debut. He kicked the Eagles' second goal in the third quarter.
Borgogno up against Stranatica. The latter wins out. O'Neill does well to get his boot to it. Humble, True, Brayshaw. Handball, I guess, looking for Pornich on that occasion, but ill-directed, and Maguire happy to see it over the line.
Thought Sears maybe could have come up and done a little bit better to make that handball from Brayshaw work. They just every time they get that little bit going, it's just that one skill error or just one little fumble that has sort of cost them throughout this game.
Throw in far wing. Stranatica handles it best. Bokhorst to the running Burton. Another inside 50 entry. Dixon in best position. Fitzgerald did well to bring the ball to the ground in the end. Marlin just paddling it in front. Schoenfeld says, thanks, I'll take it if you don't want it. Steps past his opponent. Borks one on the left boot. That is just all class there from Joshua Schoenfeld in game number 4.
Yeah, that was a pretty classy finish. We said a few times he was on the Gold Coast list, and he'd be sort of a one, you can see on the replay. Nice collect, a little ball, goes around the lunging Eagles defender, and a pretty classy finish on the left. But we talk about that mid-season draft period. I mean, he's one that's putting his name up because he's getting a lot of the ball for East Fremantle. This will be his 3rd game where he's going to collect nearly 30 touches. He's nearing it on that mark, and what I've liked about his game today as well, I think he's had the 11 or 12 tackles. So he's done it in tight and he's done on the outside.
Yeah, it's his 8th for disposal average in 2021 at 30 touches a game. In fact, back in round 1 against Peel, had it 41 times. And was a former Colt against Peel, so that would have felt nice. Probably one of the best runners in the comp, as we spoke about earlier, and really putting the foot to the throat thus far.
He's lined up against Humble right now, so it'll be a nice little test for Humble to try and go with a player with that sort of endurance capacity.
Stranatica just slaps it forward. Well met there from Comma. Good hard contest. Schoenfeld on cue. Forward 50 entry. Going back. Marlin just over his head. Collects with one hand. Marsh dispossesses him. Carey, good tackle on Dixon. And West Coast a chance to clear. O'Neill, what's the umpire going to say? Mark's right on the line. Good take there from Jamison.
Yeah, not too many big men that can do that. You can see why Callum Jamison is so highly regarded by the West Coast Eagles hierarchy. He's been, again, he's battled Manfleet. Stranatica's probably had the battle of the duel, but you can't fault Jamison for his effort.
Good mark there from Stranatica. No, he took on Lloyd Meek last week, so it's not getting any easier for the youngster.
Again, you can only say that you grow in performances and going up against boys and bodies like that.
Long ball inside 50. Good fist from Jamison, but here's a chance for East Freo. Bachman, Schoenfeld, again weaving inside forward 50. They're just playing a bit of keepy off at the moment. Murphy says, enough of this, I'll have a ping. It was always right of the target, though.
Like the Jamison, he came from about 3 deep, was able to get the long arm again. You saw that long reach on Jamison.
Johnson with ball in hand at fullback. Not a great deal of movement from West Coast. Opts for the long option. Cameron will fly, as to Jamison. Ball hits the deck. Brayshaw stripped of it. Again, another forward 50 entry incoming for East Fremantle. The kick from Lester Smith. How many posters today? Added to the list.
That left-hand goalpost getting quite the workout. And while we're on the career high performance days, Luke Stranatica is likewise having himself some sort of day. He's up to 22 possessions and 40 hitouts. If you have a look back through his career high for possessions is 23. Career high for hitouts is 50. He's a chance of knocking off both today.
You're in Swamp Thing areas with your stats, Cameron. Very happy with it. Johnson will again reset. Goes for a trot. Good movement back inside. Opts for distance. Borgogno, front position. That's strong hands there.
Good grab from Borgogno. He's flashed in and out, shown a few good signs.
Good pass. Ainsworth wants to move it quickly to O'Neill, and that's a quality kick. Rebillard, here's a chance. Sinclair running into an open 50. Gets his kick away, it's low and almost intended for the East Fremantle defender. Ball still alive at the goal mouth. Sinclair putting on great deal of pressure with Brayshaw, and again a chance goes begging for the Eagles.
Again, like the game of Sinclair, is another one who has battled throughout. It would have been good to see him finish his day with a goal. We have a look here. He put on the Jets, broke away, couldn't quite finish.
Ball at the top of the goal square. Schoenfeld early. There for East Fremantle, True. Umpire will ball it up just at the top of the goal square for the West Coast Eagles.
Trying to pad a tackle count there, True, just trying to jump on the tackle at the end.
Hughes, Borgogno, wins out. Ball trickling to the line, and Jansen keeps it in. Jupp fumbles. Quality tackle there from Humble. And the umpire's going to pay a free kick. It's going to be holding the ball, if you don't mind. So a chance now for the Eagles to put their third goal on the board.
Tough spot to kick a goal from Humble. Will he wheel around onto the left, or you reckon he might try the old banana on the right, Steve?
Who knows? The Waffle Colts best and fairest winner from 2016. Former Thunder player.
His third tackle brought about the free kick.
A chance for West Coast. Only goal the fourth quarter. That is precise banana work there from Michael Humble. Quality goal, West Coast. Good defensive pressure.
It is, and again, just nice to see some reward. Humble's battled hard. It was to be mentioned at the last centre bounce. He was going up against Schoenfeld, so Schoenfeld got one on him, and as you can see, he knew it as soon as he kicked it. Nice finish from Humble, and yeah, nice to get one back on Josh Schoenfeld.
He had 11 disposals and a major against Peel last week, and his stats are going to look very similar again here at Shark Park.
Probably he's one that's probably benefited from that little bit more midfield time. We mentioned the injury to Joey Deegan. West Coast Eagles Waffle live stream brought to you by Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better.
How many are you getting on the way home, Cam?
At least one, possibly two.
Yeah, that's unders.
Yourself, Steve?
Whatever they've got on the counter, I would have thought.
What about the new Yumbo? The Yumbo was back.
Tried and true. Bacon Deluxe. Give me all you got of them. Stranatica just stumps it forward. Boakhorst beelined it from the wing position, and that kick is laser perfect there Murphy takes it about 65 out.
That ties the career high. Boakhurst up to 33.
Long ball, dangerous area for the Eagles. Marsh is there, drops the low ball, just the toe poke through. Oh, geez, it could be goal number 6, but he's either cramping or done a muscle.
No, he's got the smile on his face. I think it's just cramp. You wouldn't be smiling like that if it was a serious injury.
Would be a hell of a way to do a hammy when you're 100-odd points up, just toe poking one at the top of the goal square. Gee, a little bit of an awkward landing, I think, there. Just grabbed the back of the pinger, but in the end, cramp only, goal number 6.
He's worked pretty hard as well. You can understand why the big fella is cramping. He's taken a couple of points for the team where he's worked up the ground and got the ball up there, and then likewise he's been able to work back and be at the end of that chain of play.
5 goals in the opening half.
Quick around the grounds update. Swan District's lead has been narrowed to just 4 points. West Perth making a late run, and likewise East Perth have gotten within 10 points of South Fremantle. They're the 2 close ones. Meanwhile, Peel have even been brought back 16 points. Perth coming late. Some real good games around the grounds.
Does it say what the 7 broadcast game is today?
There is no 7 broadcast game. If you want to watch live waffle footy, you've got them right here on the Waffle Stream.
Ainsworth with a clearing kick. Bouncing inside 50. Jamison takes it with one hand. Back feed Brayshaw. The left foot ball looking for Hanson. Can't take it. Well read there from Tucker. Relieving kick, Erdley. And East Freo out of trouble with Dixon. Precise pass, Boakhurst continues to racking up the footy.
This will make it career high for Belaine Boakhurst. After only 8 disposals last week, he's now up to 34 today. One he'd prefer back.
Kick in board, Brayshaw read it best. Handball inside, Johnson had nowhere to go, so goes laterally. Borgogno, Yorked. Off the deck there from Boakhurst, and East Freo with numbers if it stays in. Great work there from Carey, disguised at best, and a danger averted for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's going against the grain. He had 2 to beat, and well done by Carey to get the ball out of bounds. And looks like it's at the moment Borgogno and Hugh Dixon's gone up and is doing a bit of ruck work for East Fremantle. Maybe queuing the rack time for Bill Monaghan and his boys.
Humble, Schoenfeld, good pick up there from Burton. Little kick forward again from Boakhurst. Carey cleverly runs over the line.
Playing with fire there, Carey. The second time in less than a minute that he's tiptoed the line, and he's managed to convince the umpire both times that he didn't have anything else but to do.
Can West Coast keep this margin within the 3-digit area? Throw in, Dixon front position, True read it best. O'Neill hacks it forward. Tough bouncing ball. Tucker handles it well. Quality tackle there from Mobiliard, but East Fremantle still release. Pick up, Bennett on the left. Puts it top of the goal square. Marsh is there, as to a number of Eagles. Bachman off the deck. And Carey almost finishes the job with the cross.
Would have been a classic World Cup or FIFA goal there from Carey, just on the line, just toe poke it in. Albeit an own goal, so probably not what he would have wanted in FIFA.
Good. Oh, dangerous kick. Fitzgerald makes a good contest in the end. Ball stripped from Erdley. East Fremantle a chance. Schoenfeld to cap off a marvellous afternoon. Just didn't have enough bend on it to get back. Minor score. 99 points the margin, or is it out on the drunk?
Yeah.
Bit of consultation from the 3 wise men, and it's out on the full. So
Schoenfeld probably liked that kick back. He actually had a little bit more time. It's been probably the one area that the West Coast Eagles waffle defence has probably lacked, is that real pressure inside 50. There's been a few too many times that East Fremantle have been able to get time and space.
Robiliard with the leap, didn't get any kind of hand on it, and Borgogno takes it. Johnson running past.
Borgogno's quickly got the message from the West Coast Eagles back 6. If Ben Johnson comes running past, you give him the ball.
Sinclair down the line. Ainsworth in best position. In no hurry. Humble wants it on the inside, ignored. Good kick to Hanson. Slowly working the ball up in their forward half. Another lead and mark there from O'Neill.
Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. This was a really important game for East Fremantle, and I mean that's been a real big performance from them to have this win and to have collected a bit of percentage as well.
Maguire to Davies. Schoenfeld, they work it out. Davies Wheels on the left with the handball. O'Neill can't collect the half volley. Cameron lurking. In the end, he just wraps up his opponent. We'll have a ball up inside West Coast forward 50.
It's good forward pressure there from the West Coast Eagles. Waffle locking it in. But yeah, as I say, it's a really important win for East Fremantle. And, you know, who they've beaten so far, Peel was a really good win. East Perth, to have collected a bit of percentage today, important for them as they move probably back inside the 5 at the end of today.
East Fremantle stream off half back. Marsh presents well, takes the chest mark. They've done this kick well all day into corridor. Bokhorst obliges. Schoenfeld's got a bit of space. Kicks to the paint of the 50. Comma circles back, takes it well. Very open forward 50. Numbers are plenty, and Eardley switched into the forward half for a bit of party time. Takes the mark, about 35 out, slight angle.
Lining up for number 2. It looks like he's moved up the ground a little bit more early. He's another one that's had a pretty big day. He's been important for early in the game when there was a little bit of heat on it. Now up to, this will be possession number 27, potentially his second goal of the day.
We had a season high 32 touches last week and a losing effort against the Demons. A chance for number 2, hangs it out to the right, just didn't come back.
So we've mentioned it a few times today, but Bokhorst now up to 37, almost going to be matched by Schoenfeld, who's up to 33 and has had the 12 tackles as well. And then beyond that, English as well. So if you have a look, there's 63 possessions between Schoenfeld and English that East Fremantle didn't get last week. I'd suggest that was one of the reasons behind last week's little dip against Perth.
Johnson goes for a trot, thumps it to the outer side. Jamison, the intended target, drops it in the bed basket. Good tackle from Borgogno. Maguire just hacks it forward. Inside 50, good fly there from Bennett. Ball trickles out the back. Marsh lurking. Just thumps it down the line. Tries to keep it in play, but can't.
A couple of close ones around the grounds as well for you, Steve. So West Perth have just hit the front up at Joondalup. Moulton has kicked a goal and they lead Swans by 2 points. And East Perth are back within 3 points of South Fremantle. Tom Edwards-Baldwin's just kicked a goal to make it 3 points the margin heading into time on. That would be a massive upset if East Perth could knock off the reigning premiers.
2 right, Cameron. 1 to watch in the corner of your eye. In the meantime, Ainsworth just hacks it out of defensive 50 and East Fremantle another chance to reload. 99 points the margin. Can West Coast hang on and avoid that triple-digit defeat?
Always nice to see the young fella trying to get the ball back to one of his idols, Morgan Davies.
Goes laterally, Bokhorst. Kicks a little untidy, but Jupp makes light work of it to Schoenfeld. Delivery inside 50 and leading out Dixon. That's too easy. Have a look at how many numbers inside forward 50, yet still had a mountain of space leading directly at the target, Cameron.
It's been like that throughout the day. They've just been able to work as a forward unit, and they're able to create space where the lead forward wants it. At times it's been Dixon. He's going to kick for his 3rd, and Marsh, of course, has got the 6 goals.
Hugh Dixon. Oh, he's just giving the other post a workout.
Didn't want to feel left out, perhaps.
Blaine Bokhorst spending some time on the boundary line, so
that does bring up the 3 figures.
Did you say he's got his career high? Because he's not going to add a lot to it while he's sitting there on the pine.
He's up to 37. He's smashed the career high.
I dare say that's where he'll finish. Coming off the ground. West Coast still looking to get out of their defensive 50. High ball from Wilson. Sinclair attacks it well. O'Neill reads it best. Brayshaw looking for the 1-2. Didn't oblige. Stranatica can't handle it. Oh, palms it well on the second occasion, though. High ball. Bouncing inside 50. Humble can't handle it. Marsh pounces. He says, I'm going to have a dip and go for 7. And he does.
Might have been the best of the lot for Jonathan Marsh. He's been a little bit too much to handle throughout the day. And that was everything about his performance that we've seen today. Strong, bollocking, and a very good finish in the end. Have a look at the replay. A little bit of a fumble. Pick up, wheels around. One of his better goals. As soon as it hit the boot, he knew that he'd nailed that one.
Not a lot wrong with the hammy at that occasion. Cameron, looks fine to me. And a quality day, you would think, featuring in the Sandover medal votes. How high? It's up to you.
Throughout the over 100-year history, Steve, they've had 38 wins of 100 points or more, so this perhaps will be the 39th.
Where was their last one?
That is what we're just searching. I knew you were going to go for that.
Give me details.
We'll come back with what their greatest big margin.
This is Chaz Flint limping on the sideline for West Coast, so that could be two players, again, with the injury bug in today's game. Joey Deegan the first and Chaz Flint, who had a pretty decent second quarter there. Doesn't look great. He's wearing the Eagles polo and strapped up pretty heavily, so not brilliant. But here we go. East Freo after a bit more blood. Jansen with the clearance. Falls for Bachman on the left boot. It's just too easy for the Sharks this afternoon.
Second goal for Bachman and another classy finish. Too easy out of the middle. That's really all you can say with that one. We said at the start of the fourth quarter, probably the hope from Coach Daniel Pratt was that they give up a fight in the last quarter, but unfortunately, East Fremantle have just gone from strength to strength.
So we have a look at the West Coast Eagle injury list. So Barris, he tested his shoulder, was a chance to play if he got through training against the Hawks, but they're going to err on the side of caution there. Luke Shuey with his hamstring surgery, no time frame outlined just yet. Yo aiming for around the bye, making good progress of late. Shannon Hearn, 1 to 2 weeks away. He's in the crowd with Elliot Yo today. Spotted him earlier with his calf setback, missing some more time before he breaks the 290 record. Nathan Vardy out, plantar fascia. He's tried to play, through the pain, and I guess the knock he hit last week just had it flare up again, so he couldn't get up. Liam Duggan, Liam Ryan, the list goes on, and the trickle-down effect certainly evident today.
2012, the last time that East Fremantle had a 100-point win. You've got to go back to round 22 of 2012. They beat West Perth by 103 points at this very ground.
Round 22
of 2012.
West Perth were already thinking Mad Mondays at that stage, I dare say.
And if you do go with the margin having stretched to 112 points, this would be the 18th biggest win in their history.
Are they in danger of climbing higher on that list, Cameron?
They are, but the very, very top of the list was 201 points. So
that's a belting.
As dirty as the days has been for the West Coast Eagle Waffle, it wasn't like the scoreline back in 1944.
Dixon can't handle the inside 50 entry. Bachman at ground level. Gives it up. Johnson still trying hard. Archie collects. Handball inside. Davies. Handball. Schoenfeld over the shoulder. Classy. Good defence there from Brayshaw, getting his hand in the way, but it's East Freo still with possession for this moment. Maguire's kick is smothered. Cameron attempts a little tap off the ground. Maguire again, second attempt. They've got numbers here. Lester Smith ducks back inside. Goes long with his entry. One-on-one. Oh, that is just a classy grab from Bachman.
It's lively in this last few minutes, Bachman.
On the left foot, wants to move it quickly. Unguarded square, and he's missed. Just rushed it.
Very casual as well. Mind you, you can forgive it when you're 112 points up. Just one final check around the grounds. West Perth have come from 30 points down. They've stunned Swan Districts. They've gotten up by 9 points. Other grounds, Subi will have a win. Peel are going to do enough to beat Perth, and South Fremantle are now 8 points clear of East Perth. So it looks like South Fremantle may, in fact, climb back to the top of the table with that loss to Claremont as well.
Johnson, bit of a jog, sends it long. Jamison flying from the side, good grab. In front of Tucker on that occasion. O'Neill demands it, but wasn't really a plan much after that. Back to Jamison, kick forward. Nothing really bouncing Cameron's way this afternoon, and that play no different. Portage sees it out.
Quite remarkably as well, Schoenfeld has overtaken Bokhorst for the team lead, the lead of the day, so he's up to 40.
Well, Bokhorst has just come back on ground. I don't know how much time's remaining in this contest, but not going to put him on ice for the remainder of the day.
So we did say Schoenfeld had 41 back in round one, up to 40 today, so he too is a chance of matching a career high.
Brayshaw. Collected by Archie, ball spills out for Jansen, has Bokhorst running on the inside, draws the teammate in comma, sits for him, wide handball, Davies on the left, looking for Marsh, ball's just a little bit too far out in front of him, Fitzgerald needs to stay with him, West Coast arrive in numbers. In the end, Bachman again, productive fourth quarter, Marsh only eyes for the goal, sets around on his left foot, and that is just a classy finish from Morgan Davies. His second of the afternoon. East Freo keep piling on the pain.
It is amazing when you get these sort of performances. The effort inside 50, I think Marsh really kept that ball alive, and then Morgan Davies, the radar had been off earlier in the game, but he's found it here in the last quarter. Tough day at the office for the West Coast Eagles waffle. That margin out to 119.
Courtesy of Hungry Jack's, bringing the stream to you, all West Coast and East Fremantle supporters alike.
The positive, I guess, for the West Coast Eagle waffle, they are going to have a couple of weeks to regroup, state by next week, hopefully get a few troops back at the senior level, and likewise, I know there are a couple of boys that were close to playing today for the West Coast Eagles waffle team. Hopefully there may be a few soldiers to come back for 2 weeks' time when the boys take on East Perth.
Yes, no Mark Hutchings today. Busher, Bentley, a couple of West Coast waffle Eagle players that couldn't get up for this contest. Hopefully a couple of weeks is all they'll need to get back on the park. True little back feed, looking for Sinclair, but he's wrapped up by a couple of Sharks. And the West Coast Eagles desperate to hear this siren as soon as possible. True, high clearing ball. Humble has to wait, as too does Tucker. Leggett, claimed by a couple of Eagles, not going anywhere.
Also worth noting, O'Neill up to 32 disposals, kicked the earlier goal as well, and Ben Johnson nearing in on 30 as well. He's up to 29. The ball has been down there a fair bit though.
Humble looking for Sinclair. Eagles just a little bit sloppy there in the middle. Bokhorst, another touch. Maguire, bit of outside run. Ducks back inside. Long ball, looking for Dixon. Bachman stays down. Johnson there to collect. Geez, it was an ambitious bounce after taking a couple of steps. Comer keeps it in play. Not for very long, though. Umpire spotted that one.
And again, like you at this point of the game, it's obviously been done and dusted for a long time. A young guy in his debut, Pornich, good chase from behind there. Got to look for those signs that there are guys willing to fight it out, Steve.
Well, a lot of these fringe players absolutely competing for their spot, Cameron, so I'd expect nothing less despite the scoreboard result. O'Neill tries to beeline through. True. Fought hard all day in the guts. He's claimed.
It's just probably been the bookends as well for the West Coast Eagles waffle. They haven't had the guys to go with Marsh and Dixon, and likewise, they just haven't had a present forward when the midfielders like O'Neill and Ainsworth have got the ball, no one to go to.
Bennett from 40. He's going to get in on the action. Good finish there from Tom Bennett, his first.
46 league games for Tom Bennett. He's averaging 18 disposals a game, and that was a pretty classy finish there. But again, it just can't allow a midfielder like that to get that far open. He had 5 or 6 metres all sides of him. The protected area was nowhere to be found on that occasion.
A whopping 37 scoring shots compared to 7. It's been quite a one-sided afternoon.
And 7 goals to 1 here in the final quarter. So tough day at the office for the West Coast Eagles waffle, and sadly, Steve, all 4 other games have finished. This one's still going. So wins for Subiaco.
East Perth get up?
They did not. So it will be the battle of the winless in 2 weeks' time. We will have that on the West Coast Eagles waffle stream, brought to you by Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better, and we're nearing in on burger time.
Back in the middle, Borgogno, Stranatica. O'Neill sharks it. High clearance to the paint of the 50. Oh, going back early. Eyes only for the ball. Sticky mitts on that occasion.
Bit of a barrel out of the middle there from O'Neill.
Didn't mind it, but just an impressive grab, and what an absolute impressive afternoon it's been for East Fremantle, taking care of business at home and then some. 125-point victory against a very depleted West Coast Eagles waffle team. They fought hard in moments, but in the end just absolutely outclassed and outmatched by a seasoned opponent. Cameron Palmer with some of the major ball winners of the afternoon.
Yeah, tough day for the West Coast Eagles waffle team. If we do have a look at West Coast first and foremost, their leading possession winner was Xavier O'Neill, who did end up with 34 possessions and laid the 9 tackles. Ben Johnson finished with 29 possessions. Braden Ainsworth, 23. Zane True, 17. Lennon Marlin had 15 as well. On the other side, there were a number of big ball magnets. In that little battle between Boakhorst and Scowenfield, it was Boakhorst that finished with 41, Scowenfield 40, and Luke English 32. So if you just look at that, from last week, those three combined for just 8 possessions between them. And today they've combined to have 113. So 105 extra possessions from your prime midfielders will generally lead you towards a victory. In terms of those major goal kickers, Marsh was the standout throughout the game. He got 7. Dixon, Murphy, Bockman and Davies all finished with 2 goals each. But overall, it was a complete domination, sadly, from the East Fremantle side. If you have a look at the team stats, 475 disposals to 248. Inside 50 counts, 65 to 16 in favour of East Fremantle. East Fremantle coach Bill Monahan just walking past us, a very happy man, I would suggest, with the way his team has been able to play this out and really put it on.
That's it here from New Choice Homes Park. Thanks for your company for this afternoon's stream, courtesy of Hungry Jacks. We'll see you next time.